Actually, that is bothering me. Let me.
It's bothering him.
Shift this
I
a little
told you.
Oh yeah!
I told you.
I came from Colombia, and the whole right here, I'm like, can't wait to mess with Tony.
I never thought about messing with you, and I never thought about being messed with.
I know.
But here I am.
I'm sitting there like, how many of your mom jokes can I make to Tony? And then just immediately apologize to Jill. You know, like, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to the 98% podcast. We have a special episode today with the former band members of Nightmare Nevermore. We want to come together and have a fun little episode with you all. So we're going to tell some fun stories. We're going to give each other some fun questions just to chat about, and then we're going to do a metal tier list because we all love metal music. Mm-hmm. So here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Ready? Okay, story time. Okay, so we should talk about some fun stories. So we played together for like 8 years. So what were some of those fun stories y'all remember?
I talked about this earlier, but
yeah.
I don't think you were playing with us at the time. Mm-hmm. John was definitely there. Remember when we signed people's faces?
Yeah.
I remember you guys talking about that.
Superfan. Yeah, what he had a warlock or
Superfan bought a Son
I
of Beast.
forgot about Superfan. I didn't even bring him up yet.
Superfan was
That's how it started.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that was after we'd been playing for a little bit of time and kind of established, you could say.
Yeah, we played at the warehouse, and the Superfan showed up. Son of Beast.
The first concert I remember too. The first show he shows up, and I remember we just finished the set. And I think I was wearing like my Mushroom Head shirt and stuff, and we were all wearing band shirts. And he's just like, "You guys are better than Mushroom, and you guys are better than like." And he was just like laying down this list of just how good we were. And I was like, "Thanks, man." and then we played the Worlds a few times. Every time he knew we were coming, he'd show up. Mm-hmm. And then the last time he showed up, he brought Son of Beast, so a miniature version of my guitar, and we signed this, and I was like, "Yes." So I signed it. He was bowing to us at one of our shows once. It was so good.
He just shows up. I saved all the hair that you had on stage. Did you sign it?
That's all we know him as, too. I don't think I ever recall the guy's name.
I don't know if I got his name. We just knew it was Superfan.
Superfan.
I don't know his name. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, we all had to sign the guitar. I felt really weird about it. I felt more weird about signing that guy's guitar than signing people's faces.
Why?
Because he signed over your signature. Take that.
No, with the face, it was like there was something fun attached to it, and they could wash it off.
Yeah.
You felt like it
but
was...
Superfan might... I wonder if that guy still got like hung up on the wall.
He probably does.
I wonder whatever happened to those guys. They were the best.
Just one single tear.
Hopefully Superfan watches this.
Yeah. Yeah, but Superfan, if you're out there, buddy, every day is just refreshing YouTube, waiting for something to come up about us.
Whenever you do this and put it up on YouTube, can you put the hashtag of Superfan down below?
Hashtag
That's the only way you'll get him.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, but we had a gig where we hashtag Son of Beast.
He's just on the internet every day. I know what's going to happen.
If anyone knows the band that signed my Son of Beast. But yeah, we signed a bunch of people's faces at a gig. Fake mustaches on them with Sharpies and stuff while we were playing. Some of it was happening while we were playing. But I was telling her the funniest part was we played on like a Saturday. And then they would come to school on Monday, and they couldn't get it all washed off.
Oh my gosh!
There's a couple kids showing up with like fake gray mustaches and like a blur of me or Ricky's and John's signature on their forehead, on their cheek, and like totally unashamed too. They're like, "Oh yeah, we went to the warehouse," and like no one understood, but we understood.
Yeah.
It was great.
Dude, it's funny, we got a pretty good following in that area too, which is funny. I remember going to the movie theaters and they recognized John. Because John would wear his hair the same way, and I was just wearing, I guess, whatever. And we just showed up
really high.
I had to attribute that because I could get mobile, and I always get in the crowd and stuff.
That's what I talked about that too.
Yeah, you go into like like spaz out mode.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm
We're
like,
like guys, we get all big.
I can
and
move,
you just be
so
like,
I gotta move around.
Yeah.
just like it was wild.
Yeah, completely out of time. Like my
There was-
movements are.
There was a couple
erratic, yeah.
times where like we would be playing and you just wouldn't be on stage anymore. And we'd be like, "Where's John? There he is!" He'd just be out there, just like going hard.
I just loved how it was. We talked about dynamics in your podcast. That's how I felt it was sometimes. It's like sometimes you're just kind of like this, and then it could be like 3 seconds later, and you're just like, oh, like
In the moment,
knocking
like,
people over, and it's
yeah.
like, whoa.
Something came unleashed.
Yeah, it was so sweet,
Yeah.
so sweet. I know I brought up some of these in Seth's podcast episode, but there was. I think the stage presence of you was like the best. And I have so many fun stories. I remember at the one concert, I think it was one of our first concerts. I think it was actually Dustin Ivey you headbutted. You headbutted him in his face.
Yeah, there's someone that was
for
headbanging
you.
behind me.
Yeah.
And we came back and boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just played it off
Like
like
the
boom, and then
punch
just
me.
kept playing like, whoa. So that happened.
Yeah.
There was the there was the one where you whacked the guy with the head of your bass when he jumped
And
over the
stopped him.
monitor and then told him he shouldn't have been standing
Yeah.
there.
Well-
That was the best.
Yeah. I didn't want to come off as like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm a nice guy. Well, I am. But
It's funny you started off that way. That was what's funny because you go up to the mic and I didn't know any of this happened. And you're just like, "Hey, so if whoever was out there, sorry for hitting with my bass, but you shouldn't have been standing there." We like totally ruined the apology. It's so good.
seem all
So
tough and hard,
good.
but nice.
But you shouldn't have been standing there. Oh god,
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. The battery pack one was fun when your battery pack fell out.
Oh yeah.
What were you jumping off of? The riser, the PA? You jumped off something.
I don't know. Maybe the PA speaker or something like that.
Didn't he finish the song sitting like Indian style
Yeah,
on the ground?
I do remember that one.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like, wow, this is a creative decision.
Yeah.
He's like, I know how to finish this one out.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, awesome.
I'd say my favorite one that I still think about. Every time we would either load up for practice or go loading up into like to play a gig, we would always sing like the metal, like just as loud as we could, the Krusty Krab part. Whenever like SpongeBob would go hard,
The
like
Krusty Krab.
yeah, and like
pizza.
we would all be doing
Yeah.
it, joking around like every once in a while, and then like you would come in and just roar it out. You go, yeah. Like the next county over. Yeah. Like now it's a party.
Krusty Krab.
But like, no matter what, without fail, I don't know where it came from, but like, I think you had kind of done it here and there, right? But it very quickly became every time, like I would always have the head of my amp in my hand going through a door, and it would just start immediately. You know, like we'd be carrying like the bottom part of your stack in or something like that, and then you would just go into it. So something about like getting loaded or going to a place with it
Forgot about
and singing the Krusty Krab pizza song.
Apparently, it was a trigger of some type.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't control it,
Yeah.
and I don't remember doing it.
Yep. It's one of my fondest memories of playing because it's like,
It's
you know,
so good.
all right, here we go, you know.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny.
That's good.
So I just found out today. I found out today during me and Tony's thing is he just found out about the scarecrow thing from your podcast. You didn't even know.
Yes.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Wait, when did this even happen?
They just turned the lights down and stuff, and you were back in the back. And
He told me that there was a guy that thought that there was actually someone back there drumming.
100%.
Yeah.
They come up and they're like, man, your drummer's really good. You know, and we're like, yep.
You're like, he is.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's not even playing. Effortless.
He never gets off time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god. That's so funny.
He's moving so fast it's as though he's not moving at all.
Yeah. He's also a scarecrow with a pumpkin for a head.
I just can't believe we went through all the work of bringing my drum set and getting it all set up. What were we thinking?
Yeah. No, it was
funny.
perfect. Yeah,
It was
100% worth the lulls.
The lulls.
It was because like, not only that is we were like the whole time it was happening from Ricky going, what if we brought a drum set and just set it up to like, because you know how like an idea like evolves kind of over time.
Yeah.
What if we did that? And then it was like, wouldn't it be funny if like we put like a cutout of Tony? And then it's like, wouldn't it be funny if we got like clothes and stuff? And then it eventually turned into like scarecrow kind of thing like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, just turn the lights down on the drums, you know, like just don't have them, you know? So like the bass drum was like lit up, you know? And like with the cymbals and the rest of that stuff, you can't really like tell. So like people could tell like there's a drum set and there's something back there, right? Best drummer ever.
Best drummer ever. There was a guy who recognized it.
Dude, you're so good. You got compliments when you work. So
I love that. That's great.
Yeah.
Good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the paint coming off the ceiling too, because it was so banging in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was nuts.
I was so like I was kind of like pissy on the way there, right? Like not really or anything, but like for me it was like 3 hours away. You weren't showing up, you know, and I was just like, man, why did we play on YMCA? And then sound check happened. It's like, oh,
Do you know why I wasn't there?
this is gonna be awesome.
We were trying to ponder that. I don't remember why I wasn't there. You know why?
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, you're probably like, you know, yeah, you're a fly. I think if I remember right, before there was Robinhood, you could just like get on to like MSNBC and check stocks. Check when your stocks were high. And sometimes I like to check when they were low.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah. You were like,
I was
"What's
with my
doing?"
broker, and I couldn't make it.
I don't remember. It was.
Yeah, I like when they're high, and I like when they're low, and I like when they're high, and I like when they're low.
That's just for you.
Yeah, I mean, we can always speculate why we're there.
I think if I remember right, it like you may have had something going on that day, and it was you were like on the fence, sort of thing like that, and like from jump, I think us doing it, it was like I don't know, something was up with that day.
And according to your podcast, I was giving you the runaround, so
Yeah, something like that. No, because like up until that point, whenever like even with practice, like there was a time whenever like right before then it was we played to the drum set and stuff or the drum recording.
yeah.
And then when it came time for the show, we went there, so we just kept playing with it because like early on, before we played that show, I want to say it was like 1 or 2 of like the practices, right? Because it was usually like 2, 3, or 4 like that month up to it,
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
I was at the second one though,
Mm-hmm.
where you made the documentary.
Yeah, remember?
Mm-hmm.
You made us all cuss.
Oh yeah. My favorite was yours.
Yeah, that's what
Because it
Tony
was-
said too.
Yeah, you're like, "Hey, Ricky, how's it going?" or something like that. And
I didn't even say one
I
word.
didn't
I'm good, man.
oh man, that's funny.
Little handy cam and stuff.
Yeah.
That was great.
I'll tell you a funny story that you guys don't know. When we played at Nathan P. Murphy's,
Uh-huh.
I had a really. I don't know if I still have the scar. Kind of. There's a little miscolored patch. About big around as a quarter.
Yes.
I got a little spider bite before the show,
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't know if it
Right?
was during the show. Or...
and it was a pretty bad spider bite, and it was bugging me for a couple days, and I probably should have went to the doctor. I'm pretty sure it was like brown recluse bite. But I was just being stupid. I kept on like putting like Neosporin on it. I put a Band-Aid on it. And it never got better. It just kept getting worse. And I remember before the show, it was probably about big round. It was like maybe a pencil, like number 2 pencil or something.
Right.
And then we played that show, and I remember I had these brown dress pants on. And once like the after show adrenaline like was done, I remember going home and just thinking like, ooh, my leg hurts. It's like throbbing, you know. got home because it's dark, you know. I can't like see what's going on. I got home and I remember lifting my leg, my pant leg like that, and it was about the size of a quarter. It went from that little, and from the sweat, it was all pussy, and there was other little like almost like these little zit things all around it. Bad deal.
Yes.
I still never went to a doctor. I cleaned it and it healed up. But that's a true story. It was a really bad deal. I'm pretty sure it was brown recluse, and I should have went to the doctor. But yeah, that show went from that big to like that big just from a couple hours time. It was all that sweat. It was toxic sweat. Just metal sweat is what it was. Yeah. Fun fact for you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
For what?
You got bit by a spider. That sucks.
Oh yeah, spider bites are bad. Yeah.
All right.
It's okay.
Don't do it again.
I won't. Until I do.
What's one of your favorite memories, John?
I would say when we were playing up in Branson, and Rylan, my little boy, was 2, I think, at the time, and he got up on stage and was just like headbanging with us and getting into the groove with it.
Yeah.
Were you at that
Cool
one?
moment.
You were at that one, right?
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
think so.
That was that one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was when we made that really heavy riser out of wood. Remember that's the Nightmare Nevermore in the front?
Yeah.
I just got the sticker made like that day and placed on it.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we wanted
I remember
to.
the little guy like fell over, like just kind of like on his butt, you know. He's like crying and stuff.
Yeah.
I felt so bad because he was up there rocking. I'm playing. I'm like, oh, there's a child up here. I'm like, oh no, you know. And then he just kind of like plops down. Like, I'm like, oh God, I'm so sorry.
Remember when we played down by the river?
Was that?
By Bagnall Dam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real hot.
It was
like
really
95
hot.
degrees out or something.
Yeah, there's pictures from that. We're all pretty sweaty. I just remember that being a funny show because they gave us like laminate passes. I still have mine.
Really?
Yeah. And it says Battle of the Bands on it, but it was not Battle of the Bands. It never was.
That's right.
So it says something like Battle of the Bands. They had a little logo on it. I remember them giving them to us, being like, "Oh, this is a legit deal," you know?
Yeah.
Like stopping you when you see that.
Yeah. And it wasn't a legit deal at all. No. It was like 50 people. They're just kind of scattered out. There's that stage up there. I just remember looking at this thing like, why does it say Battle of the Bands?
Is that the? Was I there on that one?
Yeah.
Where the dude like went up, the sound guy went up and started messing with my amp, and so I played him into a corner.
Yeah.
I think that was it. Yeah.
Yep. Remember you were wearing.
I remember that. I was crapping my pants because
like
they told us they were like, "There's going to be 300 people." And
yes.
I'm like,
Yeah, it's a charity event.
yeah.
Someone we knew had a relative that was running it. I can't remember who. But
Christy's daughter, Amanda.
That sounds really familiar, actually.
Maybe she may have been organizing it.
Yeah. Because there's a couple of them where she was like,
Yeah.
somehow.
And we got those. I just remember just having the laminates and like you're saying, like there's gonna be a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And I remember also saying the stage is super nice.
Yeah.
Big nice stage, and we get there and like
It's pretty tight.
it was tight. I remember it was just like treated plywood, which warps really bad. So when you walk on it, it's very like creaky and.
But you did have your own little platform.
I did.
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't big enough. I mean, I needed to. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, the guy started messing with your amp. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he kept being like turn that crap up. I'm like, all right. And like, I think at the time it was. I don't know if it was my Spider one. No, it wasn't Spider one at the time. I think it was like a Crate one or something like that. But like, there's only a certain amount you could turn those up before, like, it's not distortion. It's just like brown noise. It's just crap. So it's like, could you like do it on the mixer? So I did like a little bit kind of thing, but like the mix wasn't right because like Ricky was like front and center, like shining through that kind of stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It was powerful. Mine was like, hey,
well, and a good stage guy should be able to take your stage noise and work with it, make it happen.
But it was like so good because again, I started off. Full disclosure, like ever since you guys had played and like I started playing, I've always felt like to this day, like I have pretty okay imposter syndrome, right? Where I'm like, I'm not good enough. Like you guys have already played, and I don't know what I'm doing. I've never played live. I'm not even good at this.
I always felt the same way. I was like, I'm the bass player, and I'm just like, I'm not good enough to be a guitar player.
Right.
In metal.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
I was pretty critical on myself. Yeah, I was like, well, how can I make the most of it? Mm-hmm. What can I do to actually like put my own spin on it, so it's not just,
right.
Like, so I would try and slap and add some stuff like that.
Right, and like on top of that. It's one of, like, not the first show, but it's one of my first shows. And 300 people are supposed to be there. Sound guy's like, you gotta go louder. And I'm just like, ah! And then the minute where I was, like, cool and at ease, it's like, I look out to the crowd, and there's, like, a dude with, like, a clipboard, and he's, like, easily in his 40s or 50s, right? And he's doing, like, the Battle of the Bands thing, So he just starts, like, bobbing his head. I'm like, all right, we got this. Like, it's so much fun. So by the time the sound guy got on stage, I'm like, oh, this will be great. Come here, guy. Because he was like, my stuff was in a corner. So I just turned around and started playing to that dude. And he was just like stuck. So he had to just kind of like awkwardly lean and smile, And I'm like,
get out of here.
That was a good time.
That was a good time.
That was the best time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Seth, and I forgot Seth wasn't with us at the time. Remember we had Joe Batty doing our sound for us?
Yeah.
He did good.
Yeah, he did good. I remember that. It was fun. And he did it just because he liked hearing us, I guess. It was cool. He was a cool dude about doing all that.
Yeah, he always made it sound pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. For, what we had and whatnot
exactly,
at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you should shoot shots at you.
Well, you know
who? For being just Joe.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Who popped in my head the other day? Or actually, just during our podcast that I forgot to mention, Rozzy.
Yeah.
Roz!
He loved watching us, actually.
You got to get that guy in the podcast.
Dude, I'd love to. I got to find him. Where does he live?
Jeff City.
He lives in Jeff City,
Jeff City.
And he is on social media.
Yes.
Okay.
He is a neo-spiritual method artist.
Okay. Dude, game.
I haven't talked to him in forever.
Yeah.
I have a lot of memories of that guy. Somehow, you would really be the only. You'd really be the only person that would know about this. Really, it was somehow he got connected with Nader the Priest. Did you know that?
Yes. The fall of the Western civilization or whatever else like that.
They tried to make a
documentary
sequel travel documentary.
Yeah.
I have no idea how or why that happened, but that's disturbing to me. I didn't find that out until way later.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. Was that a Darren thing? Did Darren connect that?
Probably. I have no idea because my thing with him is coming into everything late. Because he had played shows, Darren, you guys, I was always, I always felt like I was like coattails or just tagging along kind of stuff like that. So by the time I started playing and being actually in a band, and all that stuff happened, anytime he was around, it always just seemed like, we're doing this. And I was like, whoa, he was just at a spot.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
For context, so when we lived in Los Angeles, our other roommate Darren played guitar for a band called The Priest.
Mm-hmm.
The lead singer of The Priest was a guy named Nader the Priest, who was the lead singer of a band called London. Who London had a little bit of MTV airplay back in the day.
Think like Guns N' Roses at the top, at the height of Sweet Child of Mine, November Rain, kind of stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually Slash was in London.
For a hot second.
For a hot second. Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue was in London for a hot second. Blackie Lawless from Wasp was in London for a while.
That's right.
So it was this revolving. They used to call it the hair metal boot camp band.
Yeah.
Because all these rock stars played in London at one point in time.
Like you go there first and you find where you're supposed to be, kind of thing.
Well, Nader didn't have the rights to London's name, so he went by his last name, but he kept the logo. It just changed the words London to The Priest. So it was still the same exact logo with his big wings.
Yeah.
It said The Priest. But anyways, Darren played in this band, and I remember I did tech work for their drummer, who was a guy named Diablo.
Okay.
His real name was Bruce. He had this ridiculous drum set. I'll never forget it because I was there for the unboxing of it. And they had the guys from there's a drum company that's owned by Ricky Rocket called Rocket Drums. Really nice custom drums. They're not around anymore, but they did acrylic drums for a while.
Yeah.
Right? So Bruce, I'm not gonna call him Diablo. Bruce, who used to kind of, one thing that kind of got me about him, because I was kind of, he never asked me to tech for him. Darren did, because we needed someone to help. Well, then he's like, I got my drum kit coming in today, custom made drum kit. And we were at SRI, which is this big, huge facility where they shoot music videos and they do rehearsals and stuff in there. But anyways, these guys show up, hand deliver this drum set, and they're like businessmen, like they're salesmen, and they're like, Bruce, we got that kit, and we're gonna do an official unboxing, and it's just they pull these drums out, and they're bright red acrylic, and they have these die cut devil heads in the side of them, which I was like, that's not a very good idea to have a big devil head that big cut out of your drum shell. I wouldn't think, but whatever, right? And I realized that, all right, there's one kick drum, two kick drums, one floor tom, two floor tom, three floor tom, five floor toms, six floor toms, and a snare drum. And I'm like, it's all floor toms. Where's the other drum? Where's the other tom? Why do you have five or six floor toms? It was three floor toms, maybe even four, and then two where they're supposed to go. I'm so confused about what's going on. And then the guy from Axis Pedals is there too, and he's got these pedals that have a link, the double bass link chain on them.
Yep.
It's usually about this long, maybe extend up to that or whatever. He pulls up these Axis pedals, and the shaft on them is like 3.5, 4 foot long. They're like this long.
Okay.
And I'm so confused about what's happening. I'm just literally, I haven't talked to anyone. I don't know anyone all that well. You weren't there for the unboxing.
No, I've got to follow up. So
Okay.
please go on. And I've got the second part of the story.
He sets up this drum set, and I realized that he's got four floor toms. Now I think of it. He's got 4 floor toms set up in front of him, and then 2 to the right of him. And then he put the bass drums on each side of the floor toms. One was way over there, one was way over there. And he had these drum pedals custom made to where he could play them in normal position.
Yeah.
But they controlled the beaters way over there. And so it was just a floor tom drum set with 2 way crazy bass drums. And I just recently found that he was selling that drum set on not MySpace. On MySpace.
Yeah.
On Facebook for I sent it to you. How much was it? 10 grand or something? You want 10 grand for it? I'm like, no one can play it. It's all floor toms.
It's all off your feet.
Oh, it's just crazy.
I was like, Tony, that's a steal. You gonna do it? He goes, no.
I'm not.
And there's a reason.
But anyways, so I went way off there. But anyways, I did a little bit of work with The Priest band, right? And I remember he fired me via voicemail. Hey, this is Bruce. Hey, it's just not a good fit, man. I'm like, all right, whatever. He wouldn't let me touch any of his equipment. I remember that was the thing. So I'm like, yeah, you're not a good fit for me. So, anyways, so I moved back to the lake, and then like I remember early days of YouTube. There was like these teaser trailer things for a Depriest documentary. I'm like, oh, I know all these guys. This will be interesting.
Yeah.
And the first thing that pops up is Roz. Roz is like in a van with them, and I'm like, whoa! I just remember this. Yeah, I just remember like just having this like, is this real life? Is this really happening? How did Roz get? Why is he in a van with this kind of? I want to be polite, just in case anyone's watching. This old school hair metal band is what I'll say. This old school hair metal band. Why is he in a van with them, traveling around that we knew in Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Roz he's got to have a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I bet his podcast is wild.
Dude, I want to talk to him.
I would love to hear
because that's the funny thing is I always ran into him at weird times too.
Yeah.
Like I just remember like KB Toys of all places. I walk in there one day and he's working there and I'm like, Roz, what's up, bro? So we just started chatting, and then I remember he showed up to one of our concerts
he had a
just randomly.
room
And
in
I was
his,
like, oh.
in his house that was like a toy store.
The reason I know that he lives in Jeff is I live in Jeff now,
You
and
run into him?
yeah, he didn't see me, or if he did, he didn't recognize it was me. Because again, I mean, he knew me whenever I had hair and stuff like that. So now I just like my all normal or whatever. But inside the mall is like a play area. So sometimes, like winter or whatever, if the kids can't go outside, we'll go there and they'll play, right? So we're going, and he had rented the main courtyard area, and there's like Edge of Beyond stuff, and I'm like, no way. Like, I'm definitely not going to stop, but like,
Edge Beyond display thing, selling his books.
no, yes, it was the books. It was the books.
Got books,
And then like there was like a banner, and I
Wait, really?
recognized there was an Edge of
Dude,
Beyond.
I gotta
You
talk
have
to this
to.
guy again.
You
It's
have
been
to.
so long.
Yeah.
I used to love chatting
But
with him.
it was exactly that where it's like, I'm not at all doing anything related to my past. I'm just taking my kids to go play. And then it's just like, whoa.
He does like officially licensed like fandom books,
Really?
like a book that's like a book sequel to Angels in the Outfield.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
So
it's a real
Yeah,
thing.
Rule 34 Sonic.
out there.
Potentially, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
no
know
one
what
look
he's
that up.
into.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be so interesting.
Dude,
Yeah, I played with him for a minute.
Right.
It was very odd.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, like the thing that I thought, aside from messing with you, right, and
Yeah.
wanting to just like do this, I don't know how much of this is going to devolve into like you and I being in Los Angeles.
Probably
Of-
not too much.
this- Oh yeah. Just me and you talking like that. Shut up.
Yeah.
But I moved out to Los Angeles with you.
Yeah.
And we were like of where we were at, we were roommates, right?
Yes.
Not just in the
We were roommates.
Yes,
We
in
shared
the
a room.
in an apartment, right? And I was that day, right, like that you were talking about, like with the unboxing and stuff. I had to work, right, because I didn't get accepted into music school and stuff like that. But I accepted, I couldn't go. But anyway, I had to work, and I was like super jazzed because, again, for me, like I'm always just like a kid on the inside, right? So it's like Darren's in this band, and he's doing these things, and it's like Los Angeles, and like everything's like just at the cusp of overwhelm. And it's the reason it's not is because we're there doing it and figuring it out as we go. So it's like, whoa, like everything is like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is crazy, and all that stuff. And I remember, you felt indifferent from my perspective about doing like the drum tech sort of thing. You know?
Take or leave. I was just trying to do Darren a favor.
Right. And so I was like excited to hear about how it went. Right. So left, and I'm like, man, all this stuff is going on, and you guys are doing this. And then when I came back, I was just like, how was it? And honestly, if we can still get caught over here, if it's just like you, I walk in and I'm like, dude, how was it? I see you walk by, you're in the other room, you're like, he was a dick.
Yeah.
Like, you had officially made up your mind at that point, because it was like up in the air and weird, and we were all kind of figuring it out. But after that, and I got so sad because like you're not. I know you're not a jerk to this guy or anything else like that. You're just showing up trying.
Barely talk to him. He
Yeah,
was just
yeah,
such a
you're
jerk
trying
the
your
whole
best.
time.
This
Yeah.
dude, the Bruce, the Diablo guy, worked at Yahoo,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And it was at the time whenever like the .com boom had happened. So being a part of Yahoo at that time, I'm sure he made quite the paycheck, right? Which awesome, you know. So you got like a original tech bro who's a part of this band. Do I have to be nice?
Do you have to be nice?
Okay, I don't have to be nice.
No.
Minus Darren of these has-beens, right? Just trying to make it. Now,
Yeah.
like whenever I saw these dudes, you've got like the priest and all this stuff like that, and like you get older, you kind of get that dad bod sort of stuff like that. And they had established they had done the band thing when they were younger, established their careers, and then came back like let's try it out, that kind of thing like that. One of them was like an immigration lawyer. One of them was like again a tech guy at Yahoo. The other dude was just like.
That one guy was just like a professional coke addict.
Yeah,
Oh, that guy?
Because I
Yeah.
roadied for that dude. He was a guitar player, right? Blonde, beautiful, long hair.
Yeah, everyone
leather
had like
jacket.
professional careers, and then they had this guy come in, and he like dressed the glam part coming in,
Yeah,
and
and he was always deadpan.
every time
and, like,
they had,
super serious.
but every time they had him check his mic,
Mhm.
he would check his mic with the oh!
yeah,
That's how he checked
like
it, and
the
he would,
80s roar.
and then
kind of
like
thing.
he would just keep doing it.
yeah,
And then, like, he'd do the same thing with his guitar, where they'd be like, play a little bit of guitar, and just be like, woo, 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 and they're like, just some strums, brother, and he's like, yeah, right. That's all he could do. Like, he
yeah.
was wild, and he'd get real like upset, like,
Yep.
and like, oh, this dude was.
I forgot his
little
whammy
piece
bar
of his
one
out of his
time.
mind.
Oh,
Whenever
yeah?
they got set up because I didn't help him. Here you go, just like a little kid. And like, he's like playing and stuff, and he goes to reach for it, and it's not there, and then he starts pointing at it, and he's like looking at me, and then his girlfriend, who dyed hair, twice his age, probably half plastic, is like, "Oh, bad job, brother, you're gonna get fired." And I'm just like,
Of course.
You're like, I'm not getting paid.
"What's going on?"
You can fire me. It's
Yeah.
all right. I'm not got nothing to lose.
Yeah, and like, it was so painful in the sense of like, Darren is so incredibly nice with such a big heart, and he's just like playing, doing his thing, and he's super jazzed about it because he won't do anything halfway, right? If he's into something, the dude dives all the way in, so he's like in it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And it's like you believe for that guy because he's such a sweetheart, and then you've got these other jerks. It's just like I don't understand the appeal. What is
And right in the middle of it all, Roz.
Yes, yeah.
That's I.
The glue.
Oh, the Roz was the glue. That would be funny. But he's the one that kept it all together. We had no idea.
He's our booking agent. We gotta get the rainbow room. This is the Roz.
the Roz. That's so funny. Yeah, you'll be able to track him down pretty easy. I
Yeah, I'll
believe.
write that down because I would love to have him on.
Yeah, I think he goes by Roz on social media. R-A-Z.
You say R-A-Z?
R-A-Z.
Okay.
Yep, Roz. Does he go by Wickham still? Try Wickham. I know for a while he wanted to change his last name. I don't know if he ever did. And thank you. I need that. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Roz, did you ever play with Roz?
We played
You
together.
played bass.
I played bass at
Oh,
Enter Beyond.
Oh man, I forgot. we played at billiards.
We also played at Donna's Ice House.
We played at Donna's.
I remember that one.
That was nasty.
I came away with the disease.
Oh man, no, I didn't know at Donna's. You had to walk through the bathroom to get to the little green room area they had. There's a little green room area that, if you want to call it that,
Yeah.
you can hang out in here, and then you just go through this door to get to the stage. But when you open that door, it's the bathroom.
It's a brown room.
So it was a brown room, wood panel. Oh, nasty! And we played that. Remember, we played that venue up in Jeff City. You played it because I remember
Sure,
I remember you spiked your hair up. And
I
you were
heard
wearing
about
your
that.
flame shirt.
Yeah,
I did that at every one we played.
And I just remember you going wild.
Yeah.
You just being completely wild.
I did.
To the point where even I was just kind of like, Ricky,
Yeah.
dude.
That's basically what I said. He's like, you want to play bass with us? I was like, sure. I was like, but I'm gonna go kind of crazy. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's something
All that
about when
pent-up
you
energy.
play bass that you change your posture.
Yeah.
You're very like you do this thing.
That's it.
Yeah. So like every once in a while I'd see like kind of going back and forth, and your elbow would be really high, and I'd be like, "This is a different person right now."
Dude, I felt like a different person, and I was inserting so many notes on the bass that didn't need to be inserted too. I just remember being like, "Woo!" just having like random stuff in there all the time. But dude.
Yeah, I remember we played Megadeth songs. That was like part of his
Yeah.
thing, where he'd
Yeah.
play a lot of Megadeth.
Yep.
It was kind of like the Roz experience was half originals, half Megadeth.
Yep.
We never played any other covers, but we played like 6 Megadeth songs.
Yep.
And I remember playing the song Symphony of Destruction, which is driven by the bass, and it's literally just one note. Do, 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 do. And we're playing it, and it's almost like you got bored. So then all of a sudden we're just hearing do, 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 do. And I'm like,
exactly what's happening.
You are turning Symphony of Destruction into like a jazz fusion funk song. I just remember seeing like that disapproving look.
Yeah, didn't you get a talking to after that? Because you told me about that. Because you were mega jazzed even to tell the story. Because you're like, I did my hair crazy. I had this bass, and dude, I was just all over. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I don't have to sing and whatever else like that. And then you were like, I was like way too much. And then they were like, you gotta calm it down or whatever else like that.
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I remember one song they did like the bass line I came up with. It was one of the originals. What was the
was it Shadowheart?
Yeah, do 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 do. Is that one?
Yep, that's
I just did some different bass notes, and I remember everybody being like, "I like that. That's cool." And I was like, "Thanks." That's about the only thing cool that I did in that whole band. Other than that, it was just like, just adding random stuff and having a fun time.
I remember we played that show. I'm pretty sure the name of the place was Billiards. It's not there anymore. It was in Jeff City or Columbia.
Jeff City.
Jeff City.
Yeah.
And
wait.
No, you're thinking Spectators.
I am, because Billiards is in Columbia.
Still there.
Billiards is in Columbia.
Yeah, it's not there anymore though, right?
I think it is, but I think there for a second it like closed down or something like that and closed.
And I remember getting there, and where it was located was like in that part of Columbia where everything's busy. Mm-hmm. So it gave me that, gave me that like idea, like, oh, this place could be packed, you know. And I remember being out in the parking lot in the back, and I'm like kind of nervous because I'm like, we're gonna go in there, and it's gonna be crazy and stuff. And it was like dead. There was no one in there. And there was one guy that was wearing like a jean jacket with patches all over. He's really, really old. He was just an old headbanger, burnout kind of guy. And that guy pinned me down hard about like old school thrash metal that I had never heard of before. And he kept on poking my chest. And I was like, this guy's, I gotta get out of here. He was like the only guy who showed up for the show though. Yeah.
It's funny, now that you say I do remember that show now. But the funny thing is, you're right, nobody was there.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there. Yeah. We played it for like a couple people. We did pack Donna's Ice House pretty good though. I felt like there was quite a few people there.
Oh yeah.
We went.
We didn't do too bad there.
I remember that one well just because
we
I
had
remember all the drunk
people
just
to
falling
get people
over.
There. Huh?
I said I just remember drunk people falling over there, like rocking out and just they're laying on the ground the next second. Like, you good?
Had a little bit too much.
Is
that where the puking in your face came from?
Yeah.
Caps go all over the face and back up.
I forgot about that other show. That was funny.
Yeah. I think you only played 2 shows with us.
I didn't. Yeah, I only played a couple,
Yeah. Nothing will make me laugh harder, though, than Symphony of Destruction. Do, 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 do.
I'll be honest with you. Funny thing is,
I'm just like, dude. It's just one note, Ricky. It's just one note.
You know what's funny though is I didn't listen to any of the Megadeth songs.
You winged it.
So I made up everything.
It totally makes sense. That was happening.
Because he told me you want to learn it, and I took time and kind of figuring, because we did some practice sessions. I did a good job. His originals, I paid attention to and tried to go with cool parts, all the Megadeth stuff. I was like, yeah, I just got jammed with you guys, and I never listened to the songs at all.
Yeah.
So why?
It totally makes sense.
It makes sense because I'm just like, this is real bass driven. Okay, I can do it.
You have to understand that was Megadeth was his jam.
I know.
Man.
He didn't seem to get too mad as far as I know, but I was just playing stuff. I was like, it sounds like this goes. So let's do it.
I remember there was a couple of those songs where
songs were different.
we would hit we would hit at the end, but then the bass would be like boop beep. Just by yourself because you didn't know it's the end of the song. You just kind of keep playing it and stop. Beep. You just kind of look at us shocked, but then you always gave that smile, yeah. We did it.
We did it, guys. Good job.
Hold for a high five. Where's everybody at?
Oh man.
Oh,
yeah, that's why you gotta have him on that. On this podcast. That is funny.
He's just gonna be pissed the whole time.
Hear his side of it.
You ruined it.
Yeah, I do remember that. That's why I came on the show.
Just breaks out a VHS. All right, give me this. Come here. Look at this.
So good.
That's great.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. I forgot that you played a couple shows with us.
Edge of Beyond. I forgot the name until you brought it up. I was like, oh yeah, Edge of Beyond.
Yeah.
You know what the original name of Nightmare Nevermore was?
Kugula Corbus?
John remembers.
Kugula Corbus.
That's when
we still kept it until we changed it.
Yeah.
Because me and John, when we were jamming on guitar, when we were trying to come up with songs, that was what we stuck with.
Yeah, every weekend for a year solid, I was out there. Then we'd go to church that Sunday. I'd stay every weekend.
Yeah, we jammed. We were trying to play all the songs together.
Kugula Corbus.
Kugula Corbus. And then we're like, well, let's make something else because that doesn't actually have a meaning.
It doesn't mean anything.
So
cool.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
It was fun.
Wow. Yeah, Kugula Corbus. Until he brought that up earlier, I forgot all about that.
I just remember because I was making logos. I was drawing it all the time on anything I had. I tried to make my own cool font.
It
wasn't cool.
It didn't work.
Spelling wingdings. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Light bulb, telephone.
Yeah.
Man.
Everyone knows that.
Yep.
Yeah. Dude, what's yours though? You didn't really get into it. What's your favorite?
I
don't know.
What are some of the moments? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, some of that stuff you kind of forget about until you actually start talking about it.
Mhm.
But personally, I loved just about all of it. Anytime we'd get together and practice, it was like, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Right.
We're playing shows and
I loved practicing at
You know.
your house.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because
that was
everything
awesome.
would have to move,
I know.
you know?
You remember, actually, we were practicing one day at my house,
Mhm.
and two guys showed up at the front door. They're like, are you guys having a party in here? And we're like,
Yeah, that's right.
we're just practicing.
Yeah.
Like the most random thing ever.
Right.
But yeah, we
Yeah,
had
Just
to
like
walk
run and
and
pick up and drive off.
I think we practiced louder than we actually played shows. I mean, that was we'd have everything
It's
just
loud, dude.
Yeah, so
moving.
much fun.
Yeah, I remember playing this, and I remember, oh man, I was so mad actually. I remember I was like, hey, we were at John's house, that's why it triggered this memory. It's like, there's this Kiss song I want to learn, and I still think it's awesome. It's called The Oath, and we pulled it up, and it was like a YouTube video, and at the bottom, had the lyrics that were popping up.
Fiery hot.
Yeah, fiery hot. The O looked like an A, and he's like, fiery hat. It's not fiery hat, it's fiery hot. And he's like, no, it says Fiery Hat.
Fiery Hat.
And then everyone's busting up laughing. I'm like, keep listening. And it was like, gone. We never listened to the song. And that's the second line of the song. So it's like,
I'm so sorry.
The rest of the song was gone forever.
Dude.
I was like, listen to the riffing on this, dude. And they said Fiery Hot. And they're like, Fiery Hat. I'm like, no, hot. And he's like, no, it's hat. That was it. Gone.
Dude, this is my favorite when you would get, because you don't get mad about hardly anything. But like, when you, it's like a 3-strike thing. First, it's cool. Second, I'm agitated. Third, I'm done.
Yeah, it's like, guys, you're missing the song.
There was always a pretty good amount of goofing.
Oh, yeah.
One where it's
Fiery Hat.
Dude, we said that for months and months after, too. You know, you said I totally forgot about it, except that it was so funny.
Yeah, you were like, Fiery Hat. Oh, looking back at it, it's hilarious. At the time, I was like, you didn't even hear the song.
I'm so sorry.
Fiery Hat.
Show me my first lace. Fiery Hat. Wow. Start laughing.
I can't even send it to you now because I know you're going to put it on and he's going to say that and you're just going to be like,
What we should do is cover it, but change it to Fiery Hat.
Yeah,
Just for
Fiery
our cover.
Hat. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
He's
still going to be mad about it.
Oh, man.
Totally forgot about that.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the jam sessions were fun. I was talking to one on Seth podcast that was funny was, yeah, we were trying, I think we were practicing for Horny Toad, and we were playing a bunch of new songs. And yeah, we were playing Starting Over, and I remember us three playing it. And I don't know where Tony was. Can't remember if we took a break or what happened.
we were at Seth's house.
But he was,
And,
yeah.
He's probably giving the runaround. Right?
But the best part,
No.
was so funny because like we're playing it and it's a pretty challenging song. It's not super straightforward, and we're just jamming, and it's fun. It was fun seeing how tight we were for Tony just to walk through halfway through the song and just like
sit down and
just like come right in, and it was like yeah. But yeah, we practiced a lot. I love that. We got real tight in that space for a while.
Yep. Don't.
Yeah, the bone to pick, huh? What's up?
I ain't got a bone to pick.
Oh, let's fight.
Fiery Hat. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
The whole ride. I forgot we played it, Horny Toad.
God, that was a great show.
That was the last one we did because we had one more booked and it got canceled. It got like rained out or something random. But yeah, that was the last one we played.
I felt that was the one I felt.
Did we play by ourselves?
No, because there were other people that were up there.
Yeah, there were other
Love
people.
it.
Yeah,
I
I think we
did a cover song on that show. What was it?
We did Dream
Dream
On.
On? That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
That was fun.
I
I
felt
love that one.
like out of all of them, that was the one where it was like I wasn't really nervous. It was more like excited and anxious to play it, like anticipating all that because everything was like so locked in. And I just remember staring up to like this 3 rows of people, like this is where it's at. Like this is awesome, you know.
It's sad because the Toad doesn't even do shows anymore.
Really?
Really?
I thought that's what like the whole amphitheater thing was, like the stakes and
Yeah,
all
they had a nice
They haven't
little,
done
area for it.
shows there in years.
Why? Run around?
Poor management, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show. Yeah, we played a lot of new songs for that one too. I remember that we didn't play before. It was our first cover song we ever played too.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really got nervous for shows. I was always pretty much just excited. But,
Yeah. You're a G though. I mean, like you're out there hitting people in the face.
Oh, so we were talking about that today, Tony and I. So you remember at the VFW building, the guy you let borrow your bass equipment?
oh, yeah.
He plays with them now in a band.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always hated people would be like, hey, can I borrow
He's
your...
my,
I'm like,
he's my bass player.
okay.
Which there was I heard the full story of that because I've talked to him about that show.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember you guys just being so loud, so fast, and just kind of I just remember thinking like, man, we're not in this league of heavy. We're a different type of heavy, you know? And he's like, I wasn't the lead singer. We had a lead singer that was just a singer, and he couldn't make it.
He said that too. I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember him
and
saying that.
He
Yeah.
had a bunch of gear, I think. The lead singer did. And he didn't show, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they were just like, they were strapped on whether, and they didn't want to cancel. So he's like, I was like, it's crazy that you knew all the lyrics and stuff. He's like, I made up everything. Those were all gibberish lyrics. So he's like, I knew a couple of things, but he's like, for the most part, I was just screaming nonsense.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he announced that too. Now that you say that, I almost remember him being like, "Yeah, we usually have a different singer. Usually don't sing, but I'm going to be singing today." Like, I'm pretty sure that's how it started. Like, oh, okay,
yeah,
sweet.
Yep, pretty funny.
Yeah.
Now I play country music with him.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Metal country.
Yeah, went from super heavy to
super
country.
heavy to super country. Hear my boy?
I thought that was a pretty fun show, and then I played with my other band that night too.
Yeah, that's right. Remember that?
Yeah.
I think we actually hosted that one or set that show up.
Yeah.
Remember? Okay, so there's the band Shadows Collapse. Remember we played with them?
Yeah, it was they did the Avenged Sevenfold cover.
Yeah.
Yep.
What was the name of their band
What's the
before
band
that?
before that?
We
Do you
couldn't figure it out
remember?
today.
It didn't make sense because it was like, I'm trying to think what it was. Prodigies of the Fallen.
Oh, I think that's it.
Yeah, because that sounds right. Yeah, because it was Avenged Sevenfold inspired, right?
Yeah, they were very.
I think that's what it was.
Very heavy.
Yep.
On the Avenged part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we played, because when we played the Harley Davidson factory, I remember them talking to us about, because they're like, yeah, we used to love listening to you guys. Like, my favorite song was Nightmare. I love that song. And I remember us being like, that wasn't our set list to be like, hey, you guys want to play Nightmare?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yep.
Yeah,
okay, cool. So we played it for them. And I remember halfway through the song, like, after the mellow part kicked in, when it kicked in, I just remember them being like, yeah! And I was like, sweet.
Yeah, I remember they were talking to you, and they were like, because he could sweep pick pretty good.
Uh-huh.
And so I think you're talking to him about like, man, I wish I could sweep pick like that and stuff. But he's like, oh no, he's like, I wish I could be melodic like you guys, because he's like, that stuff I'm at a loss for.
Yeah, they loved our riffage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Riffage.
Riffage. That was funny. I feel like bands we played with, I feel like we played with bands that, I don't think we ever found people that were like us though. Like, it's either we were playing with really heavy bands that like, I don't know about this, or we were playing with like more emo style bands. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's always interesting.
There's like a lot of deathcore bands and stuff that was like just
We didn't have much for
almost thrash or something, you know.
similar sounds.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we're gonna do the tier thing. Did we want to do? Do you all have questions? We were thinking about doing
You got a question?
Question each for us to discuss.
Give me a question.
You want the question?
Yeah. So we'll do that, and then we're
question?
gonna segue into the metal tier list. So,
All right.
Seth, you got a question for us?
I do actually, because I thought about it, and I was like, man, I could like abuse the hell out of this chance, but I was like, do I want to ask
truth or dare?
everyone has to have their shirts off.
That's it. I'm leaving. 3 strikes. Yeah, that's all. I'm out, Seth. You went too far. You're a fun thief. Living with Seth would often take things too far. I won't go into details.
He mentioned that in the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised.
But usually I was Seth's champion in a lot of it.
Yeah.
Was I not? He took things too far for our other 2 roommates. And I usually would kind of he'd have these wild ideas. And a lot of times I go, yeah, go for it. It was very rare that I was like, yeah, you may have went a little too far. Very rare that I did
my
that.
ride or die, where he was just like,
Yeah, go for it.
And other than that, he's like, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times I was pretty, I like to prank the bathroom. That was my thing. And Seth would encourage that. So I felt like I had to return it and encourage his pranks. Like, I remember one time I tried to turn the toilet bowl water into Jell-O.
Yeah.
I tried to turn the toilet bowl water into clear gelatin. So when someone would go into pee, it would splash back. It seems so juvenile. And then I'm like, and even worse, you gotta dig it out with your hands. You can't flush it. It's awful, right?
So you.
There's no way this could backfire. By the way, no way.
Well, the backfire on it was Darren goes in. Our roommate Darren goes in, and he doesn't even start using the restroom. He just like opens the door back up, and he's like, "I know you did something with the water." And I'm like,
what?
"Dang it!" And I go in. It didn't even set up in the Jello,
Yeah.
but it was like this weird yellowy color, and it was kind of chunky and filmy. And I'm like, "Dang it, that didn't work." I remember I tried to put chicken bouillon cubes in the shower head. We had a fog machine with the skull fog machine. We got in a lot of trouble actually because we had
could do a whole podcast of me and you.
I'll stop after this one.
No, please don't.
We had a fog machine with a skull, and the fog came out of his mouth. So our roommate Joe, anytime he'd go into the shower, take a dump, go pee, whatever, I'd have that thing heated up, and I would stick it to the bottom of the door where there's a gap, and I would just fog that thing hard.
We would do it to each other.
It would get to a point where he'd stop yelling at us. Remember? I'd be fogging him.
You would know.
I'm like, he's not even saying anything
Just
anymore. It's not even
open
fun. Yeah.
It got so bad because, like, here and there, you lock the door. It's like you've got a window that's that big that's in the shower, right? You sit here, shower door, window. So if we know that you're taking a poop, you're stuck, and we've got you, right? And they did it to me, and like I'm game for anything all the time, forever, right? And so I sit down, and then I hear against the door, and I'm like, oh.
Here's Tony with the fogger.
And I'm like,
You're in for it.
yes.
We decided to have a fog party one day. Remember Mr. Miyagi?
Yes, but hold on, no.
Okay.
Because in the bathroom, Tony would do it so much that I'm like, this is hilarious, right? Being the guy that takes everything too far, let's roll, So I'm there, I'm like taking a dump, doing my thing, and then it like keeps going, and I'm like, is this okay for my eyes? Only how far I could see. I literally did this. I just held a 90-degree. I couldn't even see my hand. It was just, everything was gray. I could see it if it was here. That's how much fog. He was just like,
You know what's unusual about it is no one ever fogged me. Everyone could have got total payback.
Yeah,
They never fogged me.
right. But anyway, the Mr. Miyagi thing, I'm sorry.
We had a security guard named, we called him Mr. Miyagi. He was just a short, was he even Japanese?
He was Asian of some sort, but he was like, the reason we called him that is not only that he was Asian, but he was like 90 years old.
Yeah, and he had,
Like,
he had the mustache.
Yeah.
We had a fog party, was what we called it, where it was just us roommates. It wasn't even a party.
We changed all the lights out to like black lights.
Yeah,
and all that
black
stuff,
lights and green lights, and we just thought that, we'll fog this place out, and we'll put on some music. We were playing Gran Turismo in the middle of it. You could barely see the screen because there was so much fog. And, we did so much fog that it seeped out of the apartment into the hallways. So we get a knock on the door, and we open it up, and all we can see is that the hallway's filled with fog. And Mr. Miyagi was there, and he was like, he was mad. No fog!
Because if you can believe it, that was the first time we've got the, apartment security called on us.
Oh, yeah.
One of the times I went out there like I was sleeping, right? And it pissed him off because I was like, I grabbed like a blanket and I threw it over me, and I was like,
yeah, I remember that.
What's up, man? I know you're not sleeping. Okay, what's up? What do you need? What do you need? Right? He goes, no, you stop it. We know what you do. You open up the back. You're too loud. You stop it. And I'm like, okay. I know you're not sleeping. And I shut the door. And they're all like, what happened? I'm like, he didn't buy any of that.
We tried.
We got
That's fantastic.
We got that guy called on us so much that I brought home a big cardboard box from work, and we like just drew a giant like cardboard cutout of him, and then made a person size thing and just kept it outside our door. So next time he gets called, he's just gonna see him, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, it's a jerk."
What's your question?
Oh yeah. I have a question. Yeah. I feel like I know yours, but it could have changed.
Okay.
Because, you're a bit squirrely. Crazy over here.
Yeah.
Jerk. What got you guys into music?
I started playing guitar because my sister, that's like 3 years older than me,
Mhm.
started playing guitar, and she was like spending time with my dad, and he's all like, "Oh, here's some chords, learn these." And so I was like, I'm missing out on this. So I'm like, I want to learn.
Right.
So that's what got me started.
How old were you?
Probably 16.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And like, I didn't listen to like any type of music hardly at all at the time. My dad's really strict and religious, which is fine. The strict part is probably what I didn't like so much, but we couldn't listen to rock and roll or any stuff like that. It had to be like gospel music on the radio, so
Sure.
it probably put me at a disadvantage for like being a metalhead, because Metallica was probably, I remember
I was just about to say the story. Tell us, yeah.
meeting Ricky actually at WOW and youth service, and I don't know how we came onto the topic or something, or maybe Pedro Miller was like
someone. It might have even been
someone to play
Dell or
music.
Somebody just told me that you played guitar.
Yeah,
So
and
that's how it
so
started,
we
yeah.
got. I'm like, yeah, or he's like, do you play? What kind of music do you like? I'm like, I like heavy music. And then he's like, oh yeah. He's like, who do you like? I was like, Metallica. I'm like, they're pretty cool back in the day. 16, 17-year-old me or whatever. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's how that started. And Metallica, no.
Dude, the funny thing is,
But
like
yeah,
he's like, so you play heavy music? He's like, yeah. I was like, cool. And I was like, we should jam sometime. So we went over to his house. So I went over, and I just remember being like, okay, I can't remember who played first, but I started playing stuff, and you're just like, what? What is that?
I
was like, just whatever.
I
And he's
never
like,
heard
"Whoa."
any actual metal music. Like, okay, I heard 80s hair metal, but if Metallica's your heaviest stuff you've ever heard, there's a whole spectrum.
Yeah.
Past.
And you played like one for me or something, didn't you?
Yeah, like the intro.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. That was cool. Okay, so how I got into music, I'm thinking about this. Well, Mom was always a singer, so that might have been some of it. But originally, I always thought I was going to be an actor first.
Yep.
And then I think it was because I just like performing. I liked just being goofy or whatever.
Right.
I forgot about this. Remember when we used to do fight choreography at my house?
Yeah.
We did a whole fight choreography. Remember, we had a gun disarm. We had like some kit. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we used to play all sorts of fun games. We box ourselves inside the cushions.
The cushions, yeah. Secret
And
box.
secret box.
That was Tony's favorite.
Oh yeah, I used to love secret box, dude. And then people would have to just beat the snot out of the box.
Yes, this is what you do. So you take the couch cushions, you create this big box, you sit inside, cross-legged.
Yeah.
You cover over it, and what you do is you don't let them know when you're going to tackle the box. So they're like in pitch black.
Yes.
And we just like, we're like, whoever's there.
Right.
And then apparently you just get smushed. Right? But Tony thought it was the best. So every time we come over, he's like, you know what we should do? Secret box. Like, yeah.
I remember sometimes, like, it would be like, you get inside the box, and before you even had time to get settled, you would just, like, wipe it out.
Yeah, because we wanted to keep you guessing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just wait forever. Like, hey, let's wait like 5
Dude, I
minutes.
remember we did that with someone,
guys
and we left him in the box, and we, like, I think it was me and you, and we were like, let's go. And we just, like, left him in the box, and we were, like, watching him. Stay in the box. All right, sorry.
We did that. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think listening to metal music, I think, is what got me into it. Because I think once I heard metal music for the first time, and I can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was Mudvayne LD50 or if it was Linkin Park, The Hybrid Theory, or what it was. There's something around there that was like the first that I listened to. I remember just being like, okay, this is legit. And at that moment, I realized, like, you know what? I want to scream.
Right.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to be able to do that. So yeah, I think I was in 7th grade teaching myself how to scream, and and that's kind of how it started, just screaming. And then eventually I got to the point where I was like, I actually want to learn guitar too.
Right.
So picked up my dad's Court guitar, that entry-level jazz guitar.
Yep.
I was just sitting there and started playing it without any lessons. It had 2 strings on it because I kept breaking them all. I didn't go buy new strings, so first songs I played were just on 2 strings.
I remember the Court. The 2-string Court.
And I remember too that I didn't even know the guitars had to be tuned. I just knew what I was playing sucked. But I was still playing. I'm telling you, I learned it was 2 years of playing to where I was finally I can shred now as far as I can play some cool riffage. But dude, I remember I even had after a year in or something, Matt Downey coming over, and he's like, "Hey, this tabs you're working off of that says DAD. That means you got to drop tune." I was like, "What is drop tuning?" Because I was playing these tabs without being in tune in general. And he's like, "Here, do this." So I was like, "Okay." So I tuned it down to D, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's it. That's it. Oh, snap."
Yeah.
So so I got all my lessons just randomly from people. And even though I sucked, I just kept playing. And then, and then I just started figuring out as I go, music composition, just through playing random stuff. And then there was a point where I was like, okay, well, bass is an easy transition, so let's learn some bass, and then drums. I think I picked up some during high school, because I bought your old Pearl set. Yeah. And that was kind of my adventure. And I think the whole time, when I heard those songs, I want to write songs, So, so part of the journey was just kind of learning the instruments and being able to do it. So it was fun.
Kiss. Yeah.
I'm not surprised by that.
I figured that. Show them what you got.
My parents,
look at that.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Kiss?
Yep. Got Kiss. I got a sweet Metallica tattoo.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, look at this guy.
You didn't
It's a scary guy.
Man. I love that. That's what that spider bite turned into.
Hey, ankle tattoos are cool. I've been trying to convince everyone that that's a cool thing.
Yeah, go out and get some, kids.
Every time I tell them that,
That's how cool it is.
Anyways, my parents used to have this.
You got this back
here.
I was really into Shania Twain.
I said Shania Twain, and they put Mark Twain back there. So. Just his mustache. Mark Twain's mustache. Tramp stamp.
Yep.
Oh my God. Oh, Kiss. My parents had this black, I guess it would be a baker's rack. And my mom would put knickknacks on it and stuff, and some dishware and stuff. And there was 2 doors at the bottom. You open it a little, and my parents just threw junk down there. I remember you could find AA batteries. You could find various power cords and all the junk stuff that would be in a junk drawer. Pogs, I'm sure. Yeah.
Pogs.
Pokemon instruction card.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is pre-Pokemon.
I know.
Yeah. But there was the 4 Kiss solo albums on cassette, if anyone knows what those are. In 1978, Kiss, they deviated from, they all went separate ways and released a solo album. Still under the Kiss name. Kiss logo is still on it, but I didn't even have a way to play tapes. They were just there, and I saw the artwork and thought, oh man, this is rad. This looks awesome. And they were my dad's tapes, but he hated them. He was like, those aren't good. You're not going to like it. You know what? If you want them, you can have them. I was like, yeah, I want them. Never even played them. I just took them, knew they were a band, but they look like superheroes, and took them and put them in my room. I still have those 4 cassettes at my house. They're in my curio cabinet. I display them because it's kind of what started it all, and then I had my own money, and I got not a Discman, the Walkman.
Yeah.
I had got a Walkman one year. So my mom was like, next time you're at Walmart or Kmart, wherever we're at, get yourself a cassette, anything you want. And so I just thought, if I could find a Kiss cassette, I'm going to get a Kiss cassette. And I got Kiss's Destroyer because I thought the artwork was the coolest. I wish I had that cassette still, but I don't have it anymore. I remember putting it on, just thinking it was the coolest thing in the world.
Right.
You know? But it was a musical household anyways. There was always music playing. A lot of grunge stuff. Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam. My dad was really into hair metal, so there's a lot of Skid Row was really hot at the time for my dad. So I listened to a lot of Skid Row. My mom really liked Metallica. There's a lot of Metallica. But Kiss really did it. And so then I started setting up her pans in smallest to biggest. Ruined all of her cutlery on the pans. Because I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to start playing. You know. And so that's why they bought me a drum set. So I'd stop ruining the silverware.
Nice.
And it just caught on. Never stopped.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, see, my problem was hearing Mudvayne before I heard Kiss. So, assuming
you
that
can't-
face paint and everything, I was like, dude, they're going to be heavy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this isn't what I was expecting at all.
And you're probably thinking like, Tony, why are you listening to this?
Right.
I just remember being like, dude, these guys look hardcore. And I was here like, what is it? What?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like party rock. They're talking about chicks.
Mom,
Exactly.
That's all they're talking about. It's like just happy time rock riffs.
Exactly, yeah. Last thing I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and of course you got Gene Simmons up there spitting blood everywhere.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Blood,
Yeah.
yeah. Still love it. I listen to Kiss a lot. Yeah. But what about you?
Mine was, so like, it was like a lot of little pieces that came all together. So what did it for me with guitar is my stepdad had a guitar. And like, you know, one day it just, that like old Yamaha acoustic gets busted out. And he just kind of like rustily plays some like chords and stuff. And like, I was like bitching, you know, like I was like, whoa,
Oh yeah.
you can do that, right? It was like in my sister's room, and it was just like to everybody else, it was like this just like secondary sort of thing. Like, yeah. And I was like, can I like do that? You know? And like the action on that thing's like a mile high, you know? And I'm like, oh my God, you know? And
cramping your fingers.
yeah, and you're like pressing down.
Yep.
And like, you know, you don't, like you were saying, like, you don't know what you're doing. So it's like, I'm
Court
just
guitar
like,
had that too.
actually, you know, like just going for it. I want to do cool stuff.
Yep.
So there was that. My mom, again, musical household, like my mom had cassettes all over the place, you know, and it used to make me so mad because she listened to 9 Inch Nails, like the Fragile, like the two disc set or whatever, right? And there was like 2 cassettes and all that, the left one and the right one. And she would sing it. And my mom had like a, you know, she didn't sing like Trent Reznor. You know, she had almost like an operatic voice. And it would like make me mad because like it wasn't for kids. And that's even what like Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails had said. He's like, no, this music isn't for kids. It's for like the edgy guys, you know, who like wear boots all the time, you know.
Oh yeah.
Make weird music videos. But, and then like there's my mom and I'm like, man, this isn't for you, you know. And like, the first album, the first
moms either.
Right. The first CD I ever purchased was a Rush Retrospectives.
Oh yeah.
Was the very first, because it had Tom Sawyer, and I
Is that
listened to it. If you can believe this,
Is that the red cover with the 3 dots?
no, it was a compilation of like a time period.
Right.
Right. It was gray, and there was like it was gray on the right side, and I think there was like a green and yellow stripe that showed like a picture of them. And it just said retrospective, and then there was like the year on like the decade that it was.
Okay.
And if you can believe this, you specifically can believe this. I played Tom Sawyer until my mom talked to me about it. She goes, "There's other songs on the album. You have to play something else, unless that, you know, kind of sounds like the Mars Volta to you." With me. Sorry.
It's just funny. There's always a song she gets stuck on.
Oh my God, yeah. So like, there was that. My stepdad had like actual like vinyl and stuff. So I remember finding the Styx Grand Illusion, right? And I was like,
Oh yeah.
whoa, because like there's like what it is. It's like an airbrush, like it should be on the side of like a really awesome van, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
There's like trees and there's like
With
eyes.
the horseman.
Yeah,
and
and
the
like
face.
the eyes kind of do like this, where it's like like a
Yeah.
double, like it's like blurred and stuff, right? And so I remember there was like Mr. Roboto and like the Grand Illusion. And
I think
all
Grand
that stuff
Illusion.
like that.
I think Grand Illusion actually. I might have the wrong Styx album, but the original pressings, if you put them on a turntable
Mhm.
and you put light on it and you look at it at an angle,
Mhm.
the vinyl was holographic,
Right.
and you would be able to see the Styx logo rotating,
Mhm.
but only from a certain angle.
I don't think it was. I didn't know. I don't think he had that one. But there was that. He had Pink Floyd's The Wall, right? And with all of that, with like little bits of music starting to happen, and of course, like Matt introduced me to like Korn, and what else was it? It was Korn.
Are you ready?
MTV2 came out, so Mudvayne's LD50 started, and it was
dude.
like it was the music videos of it and stuff, and it
The
was
white background.
Yeah,
I'm big.
yeah.
Oh,
And he was like,
man.
It
Does Corey Taylor have like another band, So there was like that. I got introduced to Ozzy through that guy and all that. And then the thing I think that did it for me was I was like just literally feeling my way in the dark with a guitar, right? And I noticed a lot of adults were like, man, I wish I had stuck with guitar. I wish I had learned that. I played around with it. And like to me, I'm such a brick. I'm very dense and like linear, A to B kind of thing like that. And like it took me a long time to learn stuff like hypothetically or like nuance or like just I don't mean what I'm saying literally. It's figurative, right? It took a minute for me to be like, oh, you don't mean this, or anyway. So it like perplexed me because as a kid, like just do it. Like you can go and play, just do that. Never mind that you have a job and kids and like mortgage and all that and whatever else like that. So it's like, I mean, everybody seems like they regret not playing. I'm going to do it. And then again, along the way, I wanted to get a new guitar, and my parents were like, you don't even take lessons. Like, no, we're not going to buy you a guitar. And I was like, my feelings were hurt. So then I started going to lessons and all that stuff, and that, added fuel to it. And Darren and I went together, and then we started playing together, and it's just, everything kind of fell into place, But the biggest driver behind all of it was I saw somebody play guitar. I think the first person that really blew me away was Dustin Ivey, because that cat could like just pick up the guitar, hear a song, and like play it. And like he had by himself re-recorded a whole Cradle of Filth album, right? And at the time it was like, whoa, you did all of that? Who sang? And he was like, I did, and just watching him play. And it's like, somebody's capable of doing that. Like I could go and be like, touch Dustin Ivey and be like, whoa.
He's a real person.
Yeah, he's a real human person. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's cool. So between everybody saying like,
he works with my bass player who was the lead singer of Blacklist Elite.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah, I still see Dustin.
Really?
Yeah.
How's Dustin?
Family man.
I know, but how is he?
Oh, he's great, as far as I know.
You just said you know him.
I do know him.
So how is he?
He's doing good.
As far as you know, that implies that you don't.
There might be things that aren't going great for him that I don't know. I don't have his number.
You don't know him.
I don't know him that well.
Your chair.
Don't do that. I see Dustin from time to time. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's to me. Everybody just like I wish I had done that. Like I could do it, and then I did it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's alright. It's not as cool as yours. Yours was like Kiss, beat up cutlery. I know what I'm doing for the rest of my life. So,
yeah, sort of. Yeah.
It's great.
Yep.
I love it. I love it more than you love it.
Nah.
No, quantifiably.
All right.
I talked to Ricky about
quantifiably.
That's
right.
It was like
That's
a
right.
whiteboard.
That's right.
Seth
forgot
loves that
about
Tony
that.
plays drums more than Tony, who's actually playing the drums, loves playing drums.
Yeah.
So
I actually don't like it at all.
I know.
Being forced to do it.
Yours was like down at the like negative. You know? I'm like, you just say it'd come.
Yeah, good question, Seth.
So that's
That's a
yeah,
good
that
one.
one's mine because it's everybody, like you watch like music interviews or whatever, or like artist interviews, like everybody's thing, like what got everybody into music is always so different,
Oh yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's your guys'? I'm ready.
Next
I'm ready
question.
for these questions.
What non-metal, non-rock
Uh-huh.
associated acts or musicians do you really like?
I could go on for days. You guys.
What was
You
that?
guys. You
What,
guys.
Say I would like non
like
like what
non-metal music?
non-metal bands?
Oh, I like a lot of Christian music myself.
Yeah.
Like what they play. Well, they play it on the radio, but they always cut everything. They make it radio friendly, even though it would be in its original form. Like
Yeah.
they cut out guitar solos and stuff like that, and they water all that down.
Mhm.
But if you actually listen, I mean, it's not like overly technical,
Right.
But it's enjoyable and sounds good.
Any specific ones by name?
You mean songs or
Whatever.
groups?
How about both?
Okay.
In the hot seat with John.
It's hard to specify. Well, it's not hard to specify. It's hard for me to pull one out of my thoughts. But
If the first one you pick is your favorite one, and everybody else who's listening, all the other Christian bands, will be disappointed because that's not their first one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to
Well,
break some hearts.
I mean, there's
It's
a lot
okay.
of good groups.
Yeah.
Hillsong's an older one. They're still doing stuff. They went through people, or they change out people every so often. Red Rocks. It's a really good group.
Would that still be classified as rock?
No, that's just the name of their.
No, sorry. I mean, Hillsong. Wouldn't that still be technically rock?
Oh,
Well, maybe like maybe
well, it's
non-metal.
non-metal.
Non-metal. I mean, it's definitely not metal. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock's such a
They have
Huge
rock's
term
so
now.
blanket.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
guess
it's hard to
metal,
get away from that.
It's like you
but
use guitar and drums.
definitely like
rock.
non-metal.
Yeah,
for sure.
I got you.
But there's even so many groups of metal too. Like nowadays, it's really
That's true.
you
Oh.
know,
A lot of subgenres and
yeah.
So many
Ghost is
subgenres.
Yeah.
But and then there's like David Crowder, like individual groups.
Yeah.
And Phil Wickham is, puts out a lot of good stuff. Just
Sweet.
Didn't Crowder just played at the amphitheater? I think
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
you saw that.
I'm trying to think here.
Yeah.
So this would have been really tricky for me had I not got into female seductive music recently.
What is feeded?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's the only way I know how. So
Maybe I'm
What's
just
that?
curious. What?
Sinead
Tell me
O'Connor.
some
Sinead
stuff.
O'Connor. No, I don't even know how to explain it, and I wish I could use my phone, but it's filming us, so I can't
Yeah.
up on Spotify.
Dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like this weird sensual music that for some reason I didn't think I'd be into, that I'm into, and it's weird.
It's just
It's very weird.
I have no insight to this, so I'm just
So I don't listen to
like-
Billie Eilish, but it's stuff that's similar to that. I'd say
Okay.
because
You'll have
like
to send me
moany
some examples when
woman
you
singing.
get
I do.
your
No, I got
phone.
to, and it's weird. Like I just listen to it, I'm like, and like I'll just be getting into it, singing it in my car, and I'm like, this has got to be just weird.
Yeah.
Because it's so off
You
from
got
metal
your like
music.
hips going on and
But,
stuff.
but what it has,
Yeah.
but what it has in common is it has a lot of minor keys, which I have to like. I love minor keys, so it's like okay, so it's minor sounding, but yeah, I don't know what it is. It's weird, but I can't think of any band names right now or artist names.
Yeah.
But let me think. Most stuff is still in the rock and metal genre, though. But I'd say
Yeah.
that's definitely where I've kind of tilted a little bit. I'll just say one. Madeline Duke is one I've been listening to lately. I don't know if you know who that is. So I heard her song called. What,
And
this
it's
is,
seductive.
It's like This Is How Villains Are
Seductive.
Made. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Part goddess, part gangster. Like just these random songs that I'm just
Wow.
like, okay, this is.
Do you listen to like it's my wife loves her, Lana Del Rey.
No. But I think stuff might go. So it's weird. It's just like I am with metal music. I'm really picky in that aspect too. But I find stuff that I'm like it just comes on my feed. I'm like,
I found that I like
Okay.
Lana Del Rey.
do you?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Sarah listens to it, I get a little captivated a bit.
Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
So there's one song that I
I
heard
know
from her
Florence
that I
the
liked.
Machine.
Heavy in Your Arms.
I'll
one
have
out
to listen to that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know the artist, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever.
Yeah. It's weird.
explored
If you ask like why I fell in there, I have no idea. It's just one day came on and
It
I'm
just-
like,
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
I can dig
Sometimes the music finds you.
this. It's weird.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
How about you?
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, I'm all over the map, really. Recent stuff. I listen to a lot of 90s alternative stuff that is it's in the rock genre, but it's the lighter side of.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot. I listen to a lot of '90s too. You can't go wrong with '90s.
Yeah, like I really love the Crash Test Dummies.
Yeah.
Love the Crash Test
Trying to
Dummies.
think of-
Yeah.
They had this song.
Oh, yep.
Once
Yeah.
there was this
Yes.
girl. I love that band.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
song. I like that song, even though it's not one of my favorites. But I used to think they were a joke.
Yeah.
I used to not like them at all. And then I was at a Goodwill, and they had one of their CDs. God Shuffled His Feet. Loved that song, or that album. That song is great too. But it was like 50 cents. And I was like, whatever. I'll pop into the CD player on the way home, and it'll be fun.
Yep.
You know? And then I listened to it, I was like, oh, this album is actually quite amazing. And I've loved him ever since. I really like Sturgill Simpson.
Yes.
Love Sturgill Simpson a lot. Who's a modern country guy. But he like incorporates like chamber music, like orchestral chamber music into his music a lot. He sings about things that country artists don't sing about.
Right. He's all over the map. Like, last stuff he did wasn't even really country, right? Because he had, like, Sound and Fury.
Sound
Right.
and Fury is a rock album.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird electro rock.
Yeah.
Lots of keyboards.
Yeah, he was in
but he's a
Japan.
country artist.
Yeah, he went to Japan
Yeah.
for that one and worked with an anime producer. And, like,
Yeah,
within a year, there's, like, a whole anime that goes along with that whole album.
yeah.
It's such a weird thing to
Right.
put together too.
The dude is
Uh,
so
his,
interesting.
yeah.
Like,
He has an album called Sailor's Guide to the Universe. Sailor's Guide to the Universe, I think. Yeah. It's awesome. Really beautiful music. And actually, you could almost question whether it's country music.
Yeah.
Some of it is clearly like, oh, you can hear the twang of a steel guitar and stuff like that. But and he's definitely got a southern country voice.
Yeah.
But love Sturgill Simpson. And my wife really likes Chris Stapleton, and I don't mind listening to Chris Stapleton. He's a really good songwriter, good voice. A lot of Frank Zappa and Zappa related stuff. Just out there, zany. It's rock, but it's
Hardly.
yeah. If you want to call it that,
Yeah.
wacky rock.
Right.
It's out there.
Yeah.
Stuff similar to that. There's
Like
a lot
the
of
first Mr. Bungle.
where it's rock kinda.
Right.
Well, for the most part, yeah, a lot of metal. A lot of metal, hard rock. I mean, it's my jam, but there's definitely some non-metal stuff for sure.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with the 90s. You're right.
I know.
Just
It's weird,
some
yeah.
90s stuff.
Listen to La Vida Loca and
dude,
Backstreet Boys.
I remember, like, every time that
Yeah.
Spin Doctor song comes on, dude,
Right.
I'm just like, oh, Spin Doctor's bringing
Yeah.
on him.
Yep.
You can't help it. You're just dude, this song's awesome.
Like, everybody look out in this Chili's because I'm going to start dancing on the tables.
Yeah, how can you be mad at the Spin Doctors right now?
Right.
You know?
Yep. That was Sheryl Crow from the 90s.
Sheryl Crow?
Yes, like that and the Wallflowers.
Wallflowers. Love Wallflowers.
Like, everybody shut up.
Really,
we're listening to this.
Really fun that I love Counting Crows. No?
I can't.
No, I love Counting Crows. Yeah, well, hey, if you want to find Paradise, put up a parking lot.
That's a great song. Even somebody that doesn't like Counting Crows, which is me, when that song comes on, it's like, nah, you don't have to change it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of more Counting Crows.
Quoes.
Counting Crows stuff.
Quoes.
How about the one where he's like, yeah!
On the rain.
No, it's any one of his
Rain
songs.
King.
Yeah, it's all of them.
He ends it on Rain King with that. All right. Yeah. Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones is great. Been hanging around.
Don't make me give this one to you.
I've been hanging around.
It's good. It's so good.
There's more that you'd like.
No, there's a lot that I would like. I just I don't want to like them because everything else that isn't their hits, I'm just like, stop it.
I want to lean back in this thing farther than that.
Lean a little bit.
Lean all the way back.
Exactly. Lean a little bit.
Yeah. You can lean into it.
When you fall and it's been too far.
Yeah. You fall and you're just like, so anyway, anything from the 90s.
Round here?
Yeah.
You're a Counting Crows fan.
I'm not. I hate that. Because he's all sad all the time.
Counting Crows and a Ghost. You're really big in Ghost. I actually like Ghost.
I know. I can tell.
I was afraid to admit because I knew you were going to berate me.
No. That's what it's like whenever I finally get around to answering this.
But I think Ghost is a pop act.
Yeah, definitely.
That people, even when I see them on news on Loudwire or something like that, those metal and hard rock news conglomerates that own all that, they'll mention Ghost, and I just think you guys are posting about a pop act.
Right.
they're not a rock band,
right,
you know.
Yeah.
They have a little rock guitar every once in a while, but their first album had some metal riffs on it. It was more metallic,
right?
But after that, it was no.
Yep.
I mean, it's super pop. But
yeah. So for me, some of the biggest influences and the biggest thing that ever had changed me as far as music goes, because I would always nerd out and look into band stuff, right? But between you, Joe, a little bit of Darren, but between moving to Los Angeles, dove all the way into it.
Mm-hmm.
We all shared our music. We all talked about different things, with Joe recording, with you going to MI and all that stuff. It went from us playing metal and liking what we liked to there was this big, huge shift and swing when we were out there because,
So I told Ricky earlier,
Yeah.
I said I went into school wanting to be the metal guy, and
Right.
everyone said, surprise, sucker.
Right.
You got to go home and listen to the Police.
Yeah.
That was really
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you find out Stuart Copeland's the man. And
Yeah.
it's how?
Yeah. Love the Police.
All of that between Joe having all sorts of weird Brian Eno and
he listened to some weird stuff that I had a hard time connecting with.
Exactly. But
it was definitely his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And really diving into just everything about music, from the people, the producers, what influenced them. I mean, really fangirl out on every aspect of music happened there. And it changed all my stuff. Because again, I didn't come from rock or metal. It's just what I prefer and what I like the most.
Yeah.
But my mom listening to, she got me into Nora Jones, right?
Nora Jones.
Yeah.
Yep.
To this day, you know how people are like, oh, guilty pleasure. She is my not guilty pleasure. I will listen to Nora Jones all the damn time. She's the man, right?
Yeah.
So everything after Los Angeles had kind of changed because we were driving around, and you try to be macho and stuff, you smack somebody in the face and you're like, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot, So we're driving around and we're like trying to be hardcore, and
Changing the
Justin Timberlake's
Sexy Back.
yeah, Future Sex Love Sound
Yeah.
came out, and we're all riding around in it and stuff, and we were in, I think, Joe's car or my
We
car.
loved that album.
Yes.
We
and I
listened to
remember,
a lot
no,
of Justin
the
Timberlake.
exact moment whenever it went from like, are we doing this to like, we love this, is we were driving around and like, you know, Sexy Back came on and we're like cranking it and stuff because we would just play whatever. It was all over the map.
There's
And it
a
would
song,
always be loud because it was,
My Love.
yeah,
We're like, oh, this song's
Right.
rad.
Darren's in MI, you're at MI, Joe's at SAE at the recording school. I'm just there being an idiot, but liking music. So it was just music all the time, and Gran Turismo every once in a while. And so we would be listening to stuff. JT would come on, and like it was like My Love or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And then afterwards, we had already listened to it like no less than 10 times, and like it just dies down. It's not loud in the car anymore. And Tony just goes, "Yeah, guys, I'm gonna say it. That's a banger. Like that is such a good song." And we're like, "Yes, dude, it is." Because like Joe's listening to it and like watching him, he's like listening to how they mix it and all that stuff. Tony's listening to the beats and all that other sort of stuff, and I'm just like,
Yeah, captivated. Captivate now.
And after that moment specifically, right, all bets were off. Like anything is on the menu, and we don't have to be like macho about it. And it's like such a great song and like album and like all the little things and bits and pieces. But to actually answer that question, I'm all over the map because the influence from going to guitar lessons with Tom and all that to being out in Los Angeles and watching you guys do all that stuff and all the different influences, man, it can be anything from classical to jazz, some blues. But yeah, the biggest for me are like blues, jazz, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So Norah Jones is definitely part of that equation. Michael Bublé.
Bublé.
Yeah.
My wife likes Bublé. I listen to a lot of Bublé at
there's one
Christmas
out.
time.
Right. Those ones they're all right. But like the one that does it for me is the one where he does like I think it's a self-titled album. It's like Moon Dance, Fever. He's got the big band going on, right? For instance, like Buddy Rich.
I think I've heard his
all
Moon
that kind of
Dance
stuff.
before.
It's good. It's much better than Van Morrison. I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, same here. But still,
Whatever.
like, but
brown-eyed, whatever.
I think what did it for me, and like the biggest thing outside of metal that I will immediately go into is jazz, because for whatever reason, going to guitar lessons, watching somebody play jazz, and like there's a whole other. It's almost like a secret. Like there's a feel and all that stuff because you could play guitar and do that, and it makes sense. You got chords and all this stuff. But when you start doing jazz and inversions and different timing and swing and all that other sort of stuff, and you watch how the guitar and voicing becomes this whole other thing, and it's like, I want to do that, because it's metal will make you feel all the things that you need to feel, right? Because we had talked about that previously, where it reaches in and it's just like, I'm going to tear someone in half, this is awesome. Jazz is like, it's a 13 chord, and you just have all that. So to this day, it'll still be stuff like bossa nova, Latin jazz, Cuban jazz, like Brazil 66 or Sergio Mendes, right? Like One Note Samba. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So good. So quick, very this and that, but like, I'm all over. The only country guy that I'm into is Sturgill Simpson. Tony's right.
He's great.
So good. Other than that,
Chuck Myers great.
Country doesn't do it for me, but his country's good. He's the best.
Yeehaw!
Yeah. So I'm everywhere with my taste in music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. You got a question, John?
Okay, yeah. Here's a question. What about like current things going on, or maybe future things going on in music that you might be involved with?
Future things, current things that we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a musician, I feel like you were a musician your whole life. Maybe it might just be, you might have a big project going or something you're working with, or it might be more of a just individual, I enjoy the instrument type of thing.
Yeah. I was telling Ricky earlier that I mentioned it real quick, but I want to do a just an all percussion like album recording. I'll eventually do that. I'm thinking about like ideas, things to do to make it interesting. Musical drumming without having to have any other instruments. I don't know who would listen to it. I'm sure there's an audience for it. It's probably small, but just well thought.
Send it to Terry Bozzio.
He would love it. I can make him happy.
Yeah.
Because he does stuff like that. That's why I know there's an audience for it. I've listened to a lot of just percussion music, and it's out there. But and then current stuff, I'm just gigging, No real. We've knocked around the idea of writing originals and stuff, but we haven't ever done it. It's a lot easier just to learn your covers. We still stay fresh. We learn stuff every so often. It's a lot easier to do that and then play the gig and get paid and go home. Writing original music, you gotta get together and and we're all busy people, so it's just tough. But yep.
I'd say for me, so finally after getting laid off, got around to finishing the vocals on those tracks I recorded like 10 years ago. Yes. So that was nice. So I did that, recorded a few new songs, which was fun, and it just got me all pumped and hyped about music again. So, laying out some more vocal tracks and actually just listening to the progression from what it is now to what it was is kind of cool too, to see the progress. Because it's like, I haven't recorded anything in a long time, like 10 years vocally. Yeah. So that was fun to see. And so I want to do that again, record some more stuff. Also got this notification on Spotify that was like, you want to do covers? We'll take care of the legal stuff for you. And I was like, dude, I'm going to make a cover. I would like to do a cover album. We used to talk about that before, and I thought how cool it'd be to take regular songs that just need to be metal and make it metal. Yeah. So I put a list together, and I thought that could be fun to maybe dabble that a little bit. Dream On will be on there since we already played it.
Yeah.
So I thought that'd be a good one.
I have a DistroKid account.
Yeah.
And DistroKid does all.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, DistroKid. Yep.
Yeah, they do all the cover.
Yeah, and they did it. It seems pretty.
They pay all the royalties and everything.
That's sweet. Yeah, so that's what I got that email one day and was like, snap, because that's the only reason I didn't dabble and do anything like that. Because like I don't know legally what's involved there.
You just got to enter in the information and then they take care of it all.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty awesome.
Yes, that's pretty sweet. So that's something I've been pondering as far as future goes. I don't know. I'd like to play some music again. Actually perform. I haven't performed in a long time. But yeah, that stuff's all stuff I would think about more future-wise. So, I didn't do enough for music for a while, so it's nice to get back into it.
Yeah.
Well, I picked up a guitar the other day, the first time in a long time, because my oldest was downstairs, and she was like, "You ever play music?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Teach me guitar." All right. She got one down, I got one down. And she's like, "Wah, wah, 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 wah." I'm like, "You're killing it. Just hold on." So we did a little bit of that. But the thing I think I would most want to do, next up, I have plans to finish putting together my drum set. Because I would really like to, actually do that. I bought a busted Gretsch drum set forever ago. And I need to just buy cymbals and then, new heads and all that stuff. That would be cool. And I would like to do that. Aside from that, way back in the day, when Joe would record, there was a bunch of goofy songs. There's a song out there to this day called Seth Kane's Remains.
Yeah, I sing it.
Yeah. I played drums. And
I submitted that as one of my audition songs to MI.
Just the drums. It
was the whole song with no vocals.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And I feel like I really missed out on an opportunity to like just get into that, joke around, play whatever, and like there are a handful of songs that I've wanted to cover or do differently or just make up. One of these days, I would like to grab all my music stuff out, secretly like record all of that. Like there's one I want to do, which is Jimmy Eat World's Sweetness, and just make it about Joe. Because Tony and Joe made a song about me. There's going to be a day where I hand them both a CD, and it's like covers or just goofy songs. Like I did it.
You did it.
10 years later, 20, 30 years later, I did it. But that's one of the things I've always wanted
Feel
to do.
validated.
Is like that.
Yeah.
Like, haha, got you back.
Yeah.
But that's what I want.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be fun. It'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Here you go, Joe. It's like, thanks. Just goes away.
Yeah, the throwing trash.
Cool.
What about you, John?
John?
Yeah.
Well, all my kids play. Well, Vivi's just 5, so she doesn't really play, but she's got a keyboard. But my 2 older boys actually have done talent shows and stuff, so they're actually pretty involved in music.
Nice.
So I kind of help teach them some stuff.
That's cool.
And I get to play on Sunday mornings at church. I've been doing that for I think 12 years.
Nice.
And I guess that's really about all I mean, of course I practice and just play music.
Right.
I haven't really wrote stuff for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of what I do or what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's always, I think like in the past when we were playing, I thought it was pretty awesome. I think we all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
It was fun.
So it's definitely a cool thing.
That's the thing I miss the most is playing live.
Yeah, you don't ever really want to look back on it and be like, well, those days are just long gone, and that's all.
Right.
You want to be like, maybe one.
Yeah,
day,
yeah,
maybe.
I'll get up there and punch somebody in the face.
So are we saying reunion show? Is that what we're saying right now?
I think that's what John specifically said.
That's what John is saying.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
Okay,
against
let's
that
dig
at all.
it. Let's do it. I like
Yeah, we
that.
can make that happen.
Okay, so I had so my question. I was actually going to do an activity, but I can't do that right now. So, because my phone is being used, and so is Tony's.
Is that fun?
We'll do it. We'll do it after for fun.
Okay.
But so the new one. So if you could make, so say you could build the perfect concert.
Mm-hmm.
So say a 3-act concert. What would those 3 bands be?
Oh.
Money's
You're
not
gonna
a
spring
thing.
that on me without
do
letting me think
any
about it?
Past,
3.
present,
Yeah. Well, how about let's,
future bands.
actually actually with this, let's make it realistic. So you're setting it up for say a month from today.
Mhm.
So what 3 bands you getting? So it'd have to be someone I guess that is somewhat relevant.
Okay, still around.
Yeah, still around.
It's still doing the
Yeah.
thing. Okay. Ghost, Counting Crows, and
You already thought about this.
No,
Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, Counting Crows, Black Crows, Cheryl Crow,
Yes.
Crow Fest.
Every crow.
If I could put together 3 acts that are still like doing their thing. That's tough.
It is tough.
That's really
Good
tough.
question.
I don't know. Let me think about that a second.
I would want to do like 3 groups that are like in one another's orbit. Because the ones that like whenever they'll bring them on tour, right? Like, not like the headliner will bring somebody who's like up and coming or has done it, right?
Yeah.
And they'll go out there and like it's like a fun show,
Yep.
right? Because they'll enjoy being up there and all that sort of stuff like that. I think it would be something like that. Like whenever Queens was talking about like Mastodon back in the day, where it's like, God, great show.
Yeah.
But
Oh man,
Mhm.
that's tough, Ricky.
Yeah.
I know. This is a tough one, isn't it?
It's probably gonna be 3 bands I've already seen.
Right.
I'm gonna say if I could put 3 together, I'm gonna go Opeth headlining.
Mhm.
Openers, I'll go probably Mastodon and then Gojira. Ooh. I'd like to see that show. That'd be a good show.
Okay. Interesting if you could time travel and bring back bands that you would love to watch live. And so I don't know if that would tie into that question or not, but
What about right now?
you want current?
Let's do current.
Okay.
Because we're setting up all these gigs. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
calling them all tomorrow.
We're setting up Ricky
Sweet.
Fest.
Yeah.
He's taking our ideas. He's like, who would you guys put on a bill?
Well, I mean, I guess a lot of the bands I really enjoy and like are probably bands that, like Linkin Park would be one I'd love to see, but you know, that's
They
not
still
gonna happen.
they still play
And
though.
then Mudvayne is one I think they disbanded.
No, they
I saw them
actually-
last year.
They're on tour
Yes.
right
Okay,
now.
well,
Right.
they
No,
did
they had
cool.
for the longest time, and
Yeah.
I think enough
They
people
did
were like,
finally
quit
join back
messing
up.
around. And they quit
Yep.
messing around.
Yep.
And started messing around.
I saw them 2 years ago. Ricky saw them
Oh,
too.
yeah?
Yeah.
They were awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm sure their shows are pretty cool, especially if they're in their get-ups, but they might not be doing that anymore.
They were.
They were
Oh, were they?
full
Oh.
get up.
They
Cool.
played mostly LD50 when I saw them too. It was
Oh
awesome.
yeah,
They
it's a
headlined.
classic.
Yeah.
Like a classic
Yeah.
show. That'd be pretty cool. Well then I'd put those guys on the list. I don't know. Slipknot. Are they?
Yeah.
They're
Still going?
more popular
Still
than ever.
Dude,
okay.
you know about their new drummer?
Mudvayne and Slipknot
Eloy
play together
Casagrande.
anyway.
Eloy's so good.
That guy.
Eli's the bomb.
Dude, listen to him play now. Like
he should be playing in a better band.
You think so?
yeah,
100%.
He's on such a he's a world class dude. They should be really like every night. They should be like, God,
Yeah.
thank you,
Right.
and don't let anything happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
Dude,
not be
he's
He
awesome.
does. He
this
does
guy.
bring. Dude, he's
He's a
his timing
beast.
is so good, and he's so
He makes
good.
them better.
He hits
does.
the drums
Powerhouse.
like a car crash.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Each and every hit is like, oh God.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love Eli.
yeah.
So you said Slipknot, Mudvayne, and who was the first one?
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. Who's
Yeah.
headlining? Who's the
Uh,
main act?
Ghost.
well, I think Linkin Park's softer, so they'd probably have to go up first
Oh,
and
okay.
finish heavy. Which
Oh.
I guess Mudvayne and Slipknot are both pretty heavy, but
Oh.
early Mudvayne was pretty aggressive, so maybe
Yeah.
they're doing their old
It is their best one. I said it. LD50 was their best one.
It was.
Okay. So I'm going from a show perspective here.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
So, opener, because I've seen these guys live and they actually do really well, and they're doing good now. Ice Nine Kills will be the opener, first band there. Really good stage presence, play solid, and I think they'd set up really well for these coming bands that are coming up. Next would be Dimmu Borgir with the orchestral and the choir, so the
Yeah,
full
dude.
setup, because their actual sets when they have the full thing is phenomenal, actually. And then headlining would be Rammstein. So it'd be a stadium show because you have to when Rammstein's leading. So I imagined a concert with those three, like just all about
If
spectacular.
ever there's a
Yeah.
Rammstein
Being
show,
expensive.
I want to go. with
Dimmu would be so
Yeah.
awesome.
You would be the perfect guy to go to that.
I want to. Yeah, that'll be on my bucket list. So if they
Yeah,
have Rammstein, so
They usually
Yeah.
play Chicago when they come to the States.
Yeah.
well,
They usually play Soldier Field.
yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see them, and it's just
I'll keep a lookout on tickets then, because I'd like to. If I have to go to Europe, I mean, I've been wanting to go anyways. Got to get my passport though, but that'd be
Yeah.
fun.
I know what I want. I'm having a hard time with the third one, so please help me out here. Headlining would be Lamb of God, and they would be opened like the second one, Dillinger Escape Plan. I want to see peak Dillinger Escape Plan. Maybe Gil Sharon, probably Chris Penny though. But I'm very upset I was never able to see those guys. And God, I would love to see like another like punk act open those guys up. Maybe like, I don't know. Maybe new Static X.
I saw them. They opened for Mudvayne when I saw them.
Really?
Powerman,
With,
who's leading
Powerman 5000.
Edsel Dope.
Powerman 5000, Static X, Mudvayne, Rob Zombie. Was the
That's
bill.
a sick. That's a sick
That's
setup.
great.
That's
I was
really
listening to
good.
Power Man
That was
5000 a day. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, that was better than the one I saw.
Yeah.
with them. But they did have Guar at the one I saw, so that was good.
That'd be fun.
Because Mudvayne headlines, they played a long set. Guar
Yeah.
played pretty good set, but then they had like who did they have? Like Non-Point or something, but I wasn't
Cold
a big fan of
Chamber?
Non-Point. Cold Chamber. Cold Chamber wasn't really that good.
No.
I was
Really?
surprised. I liked him better than Devil Driver
Huh.
personally.
Yeah.
Because I listened to Cold Chamber. Like I realized I knew the song Fiend, but I realized I didn't know any other Cold Chamber songs. And they were playing. I was
Didn't
like,
know the song Loco?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just
Yeah.
remembered I realized I
You
only
know, on
knew
your,
one Cold
on
Chamber
your
song.
bill, current Mr. Bungle would have fit in there.
Can't get into that album.
Oh,
It hasn't come to me yet, but I see what you're saying, and I tried it, and I'm just
yeah, I like it.
can't.
Good. I wanted to go see Lamb of God on their current tour,
Mhm.
but because they're playing with Mastodon.
Yeah.
And they're playing all of Leviathan front to back and all of Ashes of the Wake front to back.
That is so good.
But they're not coming to Missouri.
Don't have it.
No.
Yeah.
Going to see King Diamond in October.
You know what I think? When I think of King
Diamond.
When I think of King Diamond, I only think about the song off Roadrunner United.
Yeah.
Remember the one where he
Oh,
sang?
yeah.
That I don't know why, but I actually like that song. But
That's the song.
it's so funny hearing him
Yeah.
on it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to St. Charles. I'm going to go see him.
All about King Diamond.
Yeah.
Gonna come out in a wheelchair.
Another one that another show I'd put together, but I saw it just last year was Metallica and Pantera. I saw them at the Dome. That was a rad concert. That was awesome. And Wolfgang Van Halen opened for him. He was really good.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Sweet.
A little out of place.
Yeah.
You know, because he played and was like good hard rock,
Mhm.
and then Pantera came on and it just kind of they were really heavy. That was awesome. But so I could put that show together again and just get a different opener.
All right. The Rex, maybe?
Huh?
The Rex?
The Rex?
Yeah.
Ghost.
Oh, Ghost.
Ghost.
We'll probably
Or
put
Counting
Ghost in.
Crows.
Sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
so that'll be
Sweet.
the good segue into our metal
Solved
tier
it.
list. So,
Yes.
okay, y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
Okay, so we're doing a metal tier list, and we all put in 10 bands at random.
I
Well,
thought
not
it
at
was like
random.
an actual like metal. Like I did like aluminum and titanium and tungsten.
Oh, I did the
Oh.
same thing.
Zinc.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just did steel 10 times.
I quit.
I don't know why, but I just started thinking Krusty Krab pizza just then.
I
We're back. Okay, so what we did is we picked 10 bands each, 10 metal bands. None of us know what we picked, and we put them all here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull them out, and we're going to do a metal tier list. So we all have kind of different. We have some similar tastes. We also have some different tastes in metal. So we're going to rank them from S tier being the best, maybe that kind of change music, overly consistent, right? Like they're just great, right? A is they're a great band. B is like they're pretty good. C could be inconsistent, and D is just this ain't for me. Cool. And how we're going to do this is we're going to rank them. We're going to go through. We're going to do about 20 bands or so, and then at the very end we'll kind of discuss kind of where we went with the rankings, and then each of us get like one like free card to move one of the bands that's already there into a different tier. So
Cool.
feel good about this?
I love it.
Okay, so how about we start this way? We'll just work our way around. You want to start us off, Tony?
Oh, sure.
Get in there.
Sure.
You got to give us a why,
A Y.
too. Yeah, why you're putting them in the tier you're putting them in.
Oh, Pantera. I'm gonna go A-list in Pantera.
Okay.
Just because they were like the original, what do they call it? Groove metal
Yeah,
bands.
yeah, power
Groove
metal.
groove.
Yeah.
Groove metal.
Yeah.
And they were just like awesome musicians, always super heavy. Vinny and Daryl were awesome. And they're just like hard. They were just like hard.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like metal.
Walk on home, boy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Walk on home, boy. Like
Yeah.
everything they said or did, it was just like, oh man, that's hard.
Yeah. Ring. Yeah.
Just everything was hard. So, and they were just awesome. Influenced a lot of people. So I'm going A.
Okay, I like that.
Yep.
Okay, Seth. Also, I think there's something to say about like whenever two people are like kind of not the linchpin of the band, but like the big influence. Like,
Yeah.
if you definitely have somebody who's like like the orbit of it, like it just makes it a thing.
Yeah.
I have Rammstein.
Rammstein.
It's too good. It's so good.
Dory so good.
I know, right? I want to say S, but it's going to have to be in the A tier because it can't be everybody's cup of tea, right?
Sure?
I'm positive.
Oh, my daughter hates.
Yeah,
I always make a joke about it.
Right.
It'll come on,
Yeah,
and I'll be like, "Oh, Molly, it's your favorite band," and she's
Right.
just like, "Oh God, please,
yeah.
not the German guys."
Right.
You know?
And here's why. Yeah, here's why it's A and not S. Because if you guys were tasked with, you've got somebody who's never listened to metal, would Rammstein be the first thing you show them?
I'd probably throw him for a loop having the German.
But it's an acquired taste.
It would come so close, but it wouldn't be like, this is what metal is, right? Because it's good. It's really good. You can't beat Uhost at all.
I mean, as much as I like them, I would have put them B tier.
Would you?
Really?
I mean, it's to me, it's like it's good. They're right up there. But
yeah,
are you taking shots at my choices?
Absolutely not. I thought this was open forum.
If I pull Ghost out here, I swear to God.
I did not put Ghost in there. Or did I?
Okay, Ghost. No, I'm
If any of the members of Ghost watch this, they're just gonna be like, "What do these guys have against us?"
That little kid.
Okay, so I got In Flames.
Okay.
As far as stage presence, very good. They play well live. They were part of, I think, the three groups that came from Gothenburg that kind of created Gothenburg metal, whole genre in itself. Same thing. I don't know if it's a band that everyone would get into, and they've had some inconsistencies over the years. I think they had a strong first few albums. I'd say once Soundtrack to Your Escape, and even the one before that, which was one with Cloud Connected. I think those albums were great. And then I think they hit a weird stint where actually their latest release, Foregone, is like maybe one of the best albums I've heard in a while from them. So I'd say I'd probably put them in B tier.
B tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are cool live.
Dude, so good
Sweet
live. And they're unique. There's a unique sound. There's no one that really sounds like In Flames either.
Mushroom Head.
Mushroom Head. What are you gonna do with Mushroom Head?
I mean, they're pretty cool in a lot of ways. The vocals are definitely edgy. Like, I guess it could be a very your cup of tea thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's almost theatrical in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say I do like them, but I'd probably put them more at like a C, just because.
Yeah.
First off,
and you know what?
It's kind of hard to judge the first couple because there's going to be a.
I like their first couple albums, and then after that, they're hard to follow.
It's a whole new roster too now.
Yeah, it's
like
so
it's not
wild.
even the same people.
Yeah.
Although J-Man did come back, but yeah, it's not.
He's gone again. Already.
Is he gone again?
Yeah, he was there and gone.
There and gone. Yeah.
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 Some kind of M&M's.
Yeah, Double X and 13 were like awesome albums though.
Like we're reading fortunes.
Ghost.
Oh.
Oh.
There's a double round.
Oh, yes. Another on the F.
What happens if we get
Dark Tranquility.
One of the other Gothenburg bands.
Yeah. I like character and fiction. I didn't really connect with much outside of that. I'm going to go C. I'm going to go C tier. I don't have a whole lot to say about them. I do like those two albums a whole lot, though.
It's funny. Yeah, we had that talk over text.
Yes.
Those were literally, those albums were phenomenal.
They're
There were a few before that
awesome.
were good. Damage Done was awesome, but yeah, after that,
They're awesome
it kind of
albums.
became a little more generic in my opinion.
I remember listening Monochromatic Stains.
That album. That's what that album changed. A lot.
Ripper
That was
of
a
a
good one.
song. I got that on a sampler. They had these samplers. They were called Metal for the Masses.
Yeah. Yep. I had
And
some,
that was
I had
on
one of
Metal
those
for
too,
the
yeah.
Masses Volume 3, I think. And I remember just thinking,
Yeah, the one I bought,
Brutal.
Metal the Masses, had Lost to Apathy on it. That song's so good.
the one I had also had As We Speak, Soilwork.
Dude, that was a good album.
Wow.
Soilwork.
It's been a while.
Yeah. All right. What are you going to pull out of there?
This one felt like a good one.
Counting Ghost?
It's Soilwork,
Or is
isn't
it Crow?
Static X?
What are you going to do about that?
Wee wee boo boo wee wee.
For me, S tier.
S tier, Static X.
I have such
Got to.
great memories with that.
Okay.
They play great live.
Okay.
It's so consistent. It's so good. If there's something you don't like about them, it's individual songs, right? It's not like a whole album. There's not a whole album.
They have
where
a
like,
pretty
it's
good variety
garbage.
of things.
Right.
You can
Even
find
whenever they
something you
switched
like.
people up, it was still good. Because I mean, like Ken J's the man, right?
Mhm.
And then
Nick Oshiro.
Yeah.
I liked Nick Oshiro.
Nick Oshiro was the best. And then Ken J came back, and it was like, man, I hope Nick Oshiro's all right, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, but yeah, just everything about it is awesome. And Wisconsin Death Trip is like like one of the like albums that are like, if I lost everything, I would have like, just a handful of albums and I'd be good for like the rest of my life. Wisconsin Death Trip for me would be one of the albums.
Yeah, it'd be one. You're a
Mr. Bungle's
Machine guy.
California.
Yeah, see, I feel
Yeah.
the same way about Machine. I feel
Machine
like
is
that's
so good.
from beginning to end. I
Yeah.
love that
You
album.
loved In a Bag.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did actually.
That's awesome.
that whole album too. That was really good.
Yeah.
That one. So Wisconsin Death Trip was good. Machine was good. I even liked Shadow Zone. Thought it was a
Yeah.
little
I like
different, but that was a
Shadow
good one.
Yep.
I hated Cult of Static though.
Okay.
Like that was one, like you mentioned, not a bad one, but I did not like any song off.
I was
that
I was a Cannibal guy.
Yeah, you
Cannibal had some good
I
songs.
loved Cannibal.
Yeah.
Dude, you like when you like Stingray. Look it up. Right.
Oh, I liked Stingray. That
Yeah,
was that was Cult of Static. Was
Yep.
Stingray?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have to listen to it again. I bought that album and I just
I like
never
Cult of
listened to it
Static. I don't really like the tones
Yeah.
of the guitar tones are weird of that, but I like the
Right.
songs.
Didn't every song fade out on Cold of Static too?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They had a song there called UMI.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome one.
Maybe I'll take a listen again.
But I love Cannibal. Cannibal had the song Behemoth on it,
Yeah.
where he does the whole Wayne Stack. You don't even know what he's saying. He's just like
Right.
doing this low, dirty, kind of bouncy
Yeah.
vocals. It's
Yeah.
so fun to listen to.
And I remember whenever we went to go see
I
it
love
with,
Static X.
with Shane.
Yeah.
And what was it? I think it was like
We saw him in Quiznos.
yeah.
And we were all
No,
trying to figure out if it was him or not.
Right. We're like, who's got a foam hat cut out? That's him. So go say hi. I can't say hi. But no, we went with Shane, and I want to say like Dirty Man or something like that came on,
Yeah.
or like
Is that when he disappeared into the
he
mosh
did
pit?
because we were sitting there, and then that song starts, and like you had gotten into Static X, right?
Yep.
And that album just came out, so that song starts, and he goes, "Are you guys going to the pit? Fuck you guys!" And he just
left-
goes. He was
We're up on the balcony and we
so
look down and
bad.
he's just down there just like going
Right,
wild in
right.
the pit.
That
Yeah.
dude was a one-man
great.
tornado, and like that
Yeah.
one right there was like, I love that song for him.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Right.
Yep.
Reach.
Okay, here we go. Lamb of God.
Yes.
Lamb of God.
Okay, and I told you I didn't listen to a whole lot of Lamb of God, not like you all did. So it might not be as up on the list as you guys would put it. So
anyway, that thing's garbage.
let's see, Lamb of God. So just think it as a whole. I mean, they did have a big impact on music, and they definitely had a unique sound, especially for the time. And I like "Laid to Rest." That was a good song.
It's one of the best ones.
Oh,
songs ever.
I would say, trying to put my by side, I'd say they're probably B tier.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I like Lamb of God.
I always confuse, which might sound stupid, but As They Lay Dying and Lamb of God, I always mix those up so much.
Yeah.
But they're kind of same area. Tony's like, what? How?
As Lay Dying.
No, I could see that being totally.
They had a great album, though.
Unprocessed.
The one, what'd you get?
Unprocessed.
Oh, you got your own band. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. How are you ranking these guys?
No.
I am.
Oh.
These guys are awesome.
Are they?
As far as like technical playing ability,
Unprocessed.
Yeah, it's
I would say,
what's the
cutting
guy's
edge.
what's the guy's name again?
Manuel Fernandez. You have to check him out,
I'm gonna have
and
to.
you might fall in love with
Unprocessed.
It's like
it's the new age metalcore.
it's
or-
like Polyphia, but with metal and singing.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's a lot of the finger tap, like the guys really good at that, but they include a lot of like metal, and you kind of don't know what you're going to get. And their bass player is sick.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just like if you took level 10 musicians from groups and
Processed.
combined them.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
I'll have to check them out.
for me, these are some of my favorite guys to listen to currently. Like, I can just put on stuff like that and listen to it all day long. Other people are like, man, turn this stuff off.
Right.
After a while, if you don't actually listen to it, well, that's any music. If you're not actually paying attention to what's going on. And,
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say where I would rank them. Well, I know where I would rank them, but as general.
No, do it up. Do you.
What
Come on, get in there. Sorry, that was aggressive.
Well, I would say maybe A tier for me.
A tier. Okay.
Ow! Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Well, for me, S tier, but for general bias,
Okay.
I would just say A.
Okay. Nice.
My turn. I'm back around.
Get in there. He picked two. Crap, that was the last one.
Slipknot.
Ooh.
Ooh.
What does Tony do with Slipknot?
What does Slipknot do? What does Tony do with Slipknot?
Yeah.
I'm honestly not a huge Slipknot fan. I'm gonna go C tier.
Really?
Yep. I just think they're kind of
Wow.
they're kind of pretentious and
Oh
A
snap!
little too showy,
So-
or
Not even thinking about anybody else here. We're not even straight. Nope. C tier.
Sorry, I'm going straight C tier. I think I'm actually kind of being a little courteous.
Right.
It's just not my thing. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't like the members as people when I, and that has a lot to do with how I see bands. I like
that's a good point.
nice,
Though.
cool band members. And if you're going to be in the spotlight and you're going to do interviews and you're going to be that person,
right?
You got to be likable, and they are not likable people to me. Yeah. Growing up in the Midwest. You know those Midwest guys, the ones that just you're trying really hard to be edgy. And they're trying really hard to be cool, and those are those guys. And then it translates to their music for me, where it's like, you guys are trying really hard to be edgy and really hard to be cool. Yeah. And it's just, I've never been able to connect it. There's some songs I liked. I like the My Plague.
That's one of my faves.
And there was the other one off Iowa that was a hit that I really liked too. Huh?
For release.
That was it.
Yeah, that was all.
Yeah. C-list. I'm going C-list.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
I'm with you. After watching Crenshaw do the thing. and they take themselves like way too
They're
serious.
so
I would
bad.
I would
It's
put them
so
up on
bad.
like A or B, but yeah, I'm with you. Where it's like,
Yeah, it's tough.
if I had the chance to meet them, I don't know.
There's never any songs of theirs that made me go like, "Ooh, I connect with this."
Really?
Nah.
Dude, I totally
I
had
see what
that.
you're saying. It's
Yeah.
more just like
Mhm.
aggression,
Right.
and
Yeah.
See, that's what
maybe one
saves it.
dimensional in that.
Slipknot
context.
is them for the sake of them. I don't know.
That's what
weird.
saves it for me, is because
Yeah.
I can connect with like a lot of that,
Oh,
like
well, yeah,
Unsainted, right? Ugh,
That's a good
so
one.
good. It's so good, and I'm like, oh, and then it's like, yeah, we fired the drummer. It's like, man,
get out of here.
yeah. But you know what? That's not important.
No, it's not.
What
What
is
is important?
is
Rat.
How can you get me? I can't get you at all. I hate you. I'm just kidding. I love you.
Yeah.
White Zombie and Rob Zombie. Oh, okay. I hate doing this, but I'm going to go B, and here's why. Both White Zombie and specifically Rob Zombie were like, I feel like one of the founding members of people who put like that line between rock and metal on the map, especially in the 90s, right? Early 2000s. Like, Rob Zombie, what was his first album? Not White
Hellbilly
Zombie.
Deluxe.
Yeah, what was the one after that? I forget what it was.
Sinister Urge.
I think it was Hellbilly Deluxe, where it's like it's too good. It like, of the time period, like of the decade, that would definitely make it onto like, now that's what I call 98.
Now that's what I call
a real Gettysburg
horror
Wow.
rock.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
Yeah.
like it now listening to it, it's like, that's fun, but like back in the day, it's like, man, that rocks.
Yeah.
So it's faded, but it's quite
Hasn't aged well.
Yeah.
Okay, Avenged Sevenfold. Let's see.
What you gonna do, brother?
They were actually a bit influence on me when, was it Waking the Fallen came out? Is that right? That
Yeah.
one and City of Evil both were really great
Love
albums.
City of
Yeah,
Evil.
the first. I'll agree with that. The first stuff.
Yeah, I'd say
peak.
those two albums were great, and then I just kind of think, I don't know, I really didn't get into their stuff after that. I thought they were at
They
their
got too
peak during.
mainstream, I think.
I think, yeah, City of Evil, I think, was them at their peak, in my opinion, especially with creativity. I thought that album was very
I
creative.
really like
too.
the last album they just released. It's the weirdest thing
Is it?
ever.
That's
Yeah.
what I was told.
It's so strange.
Is it?
Yeah.
But it's I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I could tell why everyone would hate it, but it's
Yeah.
out there.
But I'd say they impacted metal in a very popular way.
Yeah.
So I'd say A tier. I'll go with A tier.
A tier.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lincoln Park.
Ooh, hell yeah.
D. I'm joking. No, I figured.
And then he smacks it out of
I
his
figured you're gonna put it in S. I figured.
I think they traverse quite a bit of area there, like kind of going with rock and metal and rap and all that. So I feel like just about anyone could listen to them and enjoy some of their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So versatile in that way. They weren't super hard in most of their stuff, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, because if everything's just full on,
Right.
then that can be tiresome too.
Mm-hmm.
I would put them probably as S tier for me, just because I was a big fan.
Right.
And then,
Dude, that was the hottest. Like, for real.
yeah, at the time when they came out,
They were like the face of new metal.
they were like the merge band.
Yeah.
So
S tier.
S tier.
Okay, let's do it.
I missed the Linkin Park window.
Yeah.
Tony's like,
I just Hybrid Theory was so good when it came out.
Yeah.
It's still their best.
yeah, I think their earlier stuff
It
was
was much different than everything else at that time.
more edgy too, a little more guitar driven, I think.
Yeah.
Ludicrous. I I mean, what's to say about him? S tier for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I love country drama.
Trivium.
Okay.
I'd probably do a solid B with Trivium. The Ascendancy is awesome, front to back. Love that album.
Yep.
Heavy, hard, just like really aggressive, good metal. And then they kind of lost me at the Crusade.
Yeah, I think it was the album actually right after. I think, yeah.
And then they kind of came back a little bit. What's the album?
It was Shogun.
Was it called Shogun?
Shogun was one that was kind of. It was almost like a mix between.
I liked Shogun.
Crusade, yeah.
And some of their stuff is not the most memorable to me, but whenever I listen to it, I go like, "That's undeniably metal."
Yeah,
that's a lot of talent there, and I'll go B tier.
Okay.
Yeah. Ascendancy really saves it for sure.
I agree with that.
Celery stock.
Yeah, that would be me. Fragile, weak, free.
Not me.
I know.
Strong like a bull.
Dorian Gray over here. I said polyphily? Polyphia.
Polyphia.
All right. When I first heard these guys, I got mad. I'm like, turn this noise garbage off. This is terrible.
Because I think
you don't know who they are, do you?
Huh?
You don't know who Polyphia is, do you?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just telling us a story.
No, not at all.
And then you're going to say, because I don't know anything about it.
F them. No,
okay.
like, I heard, I forget what it was. I want to say it was,
they did the song with Vi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. But the one I first heard, because I didn't hear about them, and then like all over whenever it came out, all over YouTube was the Goat, right? Or Goat, or whatever it is. Goat, just Goat, yeah. And I started watching it, and I'm like, this is what all the metal people are talking about, is like not metal at all. Like it just seems like you were saying, like all top tier, like, I don't know, like Berkeley guys come out, right? And it's like, okay, guys, everybody get together now, play your own songs separately, but together in the same room. And I'm like, what is going on? But then I started listening to other stuff and like, let it come to me versus me being like, whatever, And then, what is it? Like, they had the guy, Jason Richardson, and they did stuff like, I forget what is it, The Worst, and Nasty was pretty good, and the Goat ended up being really, really pretty good. There's a handful of them that I listen to pretty much on repeat. A little too new and a little too, like, they do make me feel old, right? Because it's like they'll bring on like a rapper and stuff like that, and it's just like, not my jam. So for me, like if there could be like an A- or like a B+, like in between there, that's where I'd put them. But I'm gonna say B. But they're still good. They're still really, really good.
I haven't listened to
any of
them.
I've only listened to
I'm
like,
very unfamiliar. I know who they are.
I've listened to those guys actually for a couple of years before some. Well, I mean, I don't know how they've been playing for probably 7 or 8 years,
right?
But probably 2 years ago, before Goat, came out,
right?
I was listening to some of their stuff, and so when that hit, they got really popular off that. But I mean, they're kind of like a fusion, or their older stuff's more like a fusion,
right?
Metal.
No, it's super good.
So Tony's like, "What is this crap?"
No, I'm very unfamiliar. I know. I know.
I mean, it's a whole different.
I know who
style.
they are. I know the young guitar player kid. That's kind of the
Kim Henson.
Is that his name?
Yeah, the one with like sweaters.
Asian,
he's like,
yeah, I know who he is.
He's kind of weirdo. I don't like him so much as a person, but
anyone that can get Vi to feature on a track, good in my book.
Okay.
Sick.
Sick. Yeah, dude.
Okay, Mudvayne.
Ooh.
Let's see. Depends. So Mudvayne as a whole, though. I've always talked about this. LD50 was amazing. Probably my favorite albums of all time. The End of All Things to Come was right up there with it.
Mm-hmm.
Lost and Found was pretty good. And then there was a few albums after that I didn't get into as much. Let's see. I'll say A tier.
Fair.
Yeah. I think there was a little, I didn't like all of their music as much, but if we were talking just LD50, I would say, or LD50 and all things, or The End of All Things to Come, I'd say S tier, but as a whole, I'd say A.
Fair.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
It's kind of, I'd be like kind of with you, where if there was like a A plus S minus,
Yeah.
they linger in that.
Right.
I'm a big
Behemoth.
fan.
Oh.
Behemoth.
Did you ever listen to Behemoth?
Only like
Yeah.
2 or 3 songs, so they're just ultra heavy.
Yeah, ultra
So,
heavy.
and that's not necessarily my stuff that I
Yeah.
like, but so I really can't judge them that fairly.
Speak from the heart.
I mean, as far as what I like, I'm not real fond of that stuff. I like the sissy metal. No, it's just a joke. Maybe a little bit of truth in that. Yeah, I mean, I guess the few songs I have heard, I don't.
Okay, you're not going to hurt our feelings if you put D tier.
You're gonna hurt Tony's
Well,
feelings.
We might hurt Tony's feelings. Wherever you want to put
I
it,
don't
John.
know. It's hard. I'd say it'd be hard to put them on D tier. So let's just go C for me,
Okay.
because
I remember the whole Behemoth chapter in my life out in Los Angeles.
There was a Behemoth chapter.
Dude, it was like a whole week of nothing but Behemoth, and I'm like,
Me and Ricky discovered Behemoth together.
Yeah, Chicago.
In
We
Chicago,
saw it. We both
saw
were
him
just
live.
like, what? We were like, these guys are awesome.
yeah,
I think you
Joe
bought
saw
it.
him at the House
Yeah.
of Blues.
Yeah.
Didn't you buy a T-shirt? Did you buy a T-shirt of that show too?
Bought a belt buckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bought the all over print T-shirt. You still have that?
No.
Oh man, that was a cool
I
shirt.
should have got it.
Oh, Twisted Sister. Nice.
Journey,
Yeah.
nice. Whoa.
All That Remains. Oh man, did we get a pass? I have nothing to say about this band at all.
Because you didn't listen to it much?
weren't they Swedish? Or
I mean,
something?
no. I mean, yeah, you can pass if you
I'm
don't
gonna-
really know much about them. If you can't make a fair
I'm gonna
assessment.
go. I can't at all.
But we can put it back in there though, just in case.
Okay.
Or how
Let
about
me
this?
draw.
How about we keep it out here and we can? I don't know. I guess if anybody.
Well, I
wants to
think
take it, we can
this
take
will be like our last poll.
Mhm.
So I'll throw it back in after I draw this one.
Okay.
All That Remains.
Mudvayne. Oh, a couple mud veins in there. Huh?
I hope you get one of mine. There's one I have that I would love to hear.
Avenged Sevenfold.
Come on.
Oh man.
Got my fingers crossed.
Meshuggah.
Oh, no.
Meshuggah. Dude, I put Meshuggah straight
He hesitated.
for what they do, and really changing the metal genre. I'm going S tier.
Yeah.
On Meshuggah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the whole gent
Yeah.
thing was not a thing.
It wasn't. I remember whenever Rational Gaze came out, my friends were like, listen to this, and I didn't get it at all. I'm like, I like metal, but what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. Just I don't know, the way they just constantly push
Kinda
the
like that
envelope
Father.
for what they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they weren't trying to beat the gent band. It was just that
their style
tech,
that they had.
and they start out like that almost thrashy sound,
Right.
Like that
thrashy
math metal.
tones, and
Yeah.
then the math metal. And I still listen to their new stuff when they release it. It's still very Meshuggah.
Yep.
They've stuck to their guns, and
I can't here
It's
recently.
great.
It's been Broken Cog.
Oh, Broken
Where I'm
Cog's
like,
great.
"Ugh." But my favorite, I don't know about you. Like whenever I'm more disciplined and I'm working out regularly, right, and it's time for like squats or deadlifts, I am Colossus all day.
Okay.
Like there's
Yeah.
not enough weight. Stack that on. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like,
Also, the
oh,
song Combustion.
yeah, combustion. Super good.
Yeah.
I
I'm
could
going
eat-
S tier with them.
I can eat a
I
human
like
face
your-
to combustion.
Most Meshuggah, you can eat a human face too.
Yeah, right. What is it? Demon and Surveillance. That's another one.
Yeah,
you can eat
it's a
a
good
face
one.
too.
It's a great one.
I don't even have to do bath salts. I just hold them down, eat their face.
No,
Moving around. This is the best part of the song.
Effect on you. Yeah, that's where I'll go.
I always liked I. 21 minutes straight of straight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nuts.
that's awesome. What do we got?
All right.
Come on, pick poison. Docking. Winger. Striper. Come on.
Not Striper. You Striper out of this.
Striper.
You take that back. White Snake.
I love White Snake.
Oh. Okay, there's one that I want to know what Tony's thoughts are if nobody picks it after this.
Oh, yeah.
I put one in there and just to be
Trying to-
absolutely full of
Trying to
myself.
frazzle? Trying to frazzle me?
No, not at all. There's just one that I think to myself, like, I don't know if it quite... Anyway, we'll get into it afterwards. Ooh. Opeth.
Ooh.
Solid S tier, despite Harvest. I said it.
You don't like Harvest?
I hate Harvest. Urgh. Sorceress, so good. Right?
You mean
What?
Heritage?
No, you're thinking of Heritage.
Yeah, Heritage was bad. It's like Harvest is a sick
Harvest
song.
is a sick song.
Yeah, Harvest is good. No, I'm thinking
Heritage.
Heritage is miserable.
You know what? I
Heritage
think
is
we
bad.
all
We talked about
collectively don't like Heritage.
Yeah, we all said it.
I'm all for, like we were talking about, whenever bands take like different like
You know what?
directions
You know
and
what
stuff.
would have put Heritage to a level where I would have went, yeah, I like this. Is if it had good production value.
Yeah.
Production value on that is gross.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does not sound good.
Sounds
Yep.
like it's in a basement.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Yeah.
demo-y sounding to me.
And I get
Yeah.
again, like there's times when a band will be like, because we know if it was nothing but metal all the time and it never changed forever, guarantee one of us are going to get bored at least and be
Yeah.
like, can we do like anything else? Like it's great, but so as a band, whenever they come together and they like start to kind of take a different direction, it's awesome. Even if it's like not your thing,
Yeah.
it's respectable. Where it's like, cool, you still like what you do,
Yeah.
and you're not just like making a paycheck kind of thing. So I can definitely get and see where they're at, because they did it right whenever they did Damnation and Deliverance, because that was so good. That's exactly whenever I
That's
got
awesome.
to Opeth was
Yeah.
Damnation and Deliverance, and it was such a good time.
Yeah.
Because it's like I'm listening, it's like, wow, Window Pane is such a great song. And then there's like Master's Apprentice, and I'm like, oh, they do this too?
Yeah.
So S tier all day.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I loved Watershed a lot.
Yeah.
And I think why Heritage was so rough is because it was so drastic from Watershed.
Yeah.
Because Watershed was like, I feel like if it may have went like, say it went Watershed, then maybe like Pale Communion, then Heritage, maybe
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been so much of a drastic switch.
Right.
But like it was so different.
Yep.
It was different.
I get it, but
Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
it was a terrible album.
Yeah, because Watershed's like peak Opeth.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the most Opeth
Yeah,
there
it
is.
really is.
Yeah,
I still rock that one. That one's one of my favorite albums.
it's a great one.
Between that and Ghost of Perdition, like
Ghost
Ghost
Reverie.
Ghost Reverie. Oh, Ghost Reverie is
Perdition is on there.
gnarly.
So good.
Okay. Marilyn Manson.
That's the one.
Is that one?
That is the one. I wanted to say it, but I'm like, somebody might pick it.
Okay.
What are you gonna do with Manson?
Yes.
So I don't listen to Manson though. That's the thing. So I don't know if I would be a very good test of Marilyn Manson. we can do that. That's fine. What do you got?
I need to know what Tony thinks of Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson?
We'll
Yeah.
add it. We'll add it in there.
Oh
Probably not very high on that.
no, like I'll go C.
It's like for
Mhm.
Yeah.
like
But
what
why?
they're doing
But
is
why?
just for shock effects.
Oh,
Yes, but why?
I just don't think he's got a very good voice. I never
Okay.
liked the Marilyn Manson voice.
Okay.
The whole like
Right. He's his own thing. He's his own thing. Whenever I put it down, I'm like, curveball.
Well, I remember like when I was a kid, my mom had Smells Like Children.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of a cool,
Mom's
like,
such a G.
you gotta keep that one secret.
Right.
It's a edgy album. And there was Antichrist Superstar, and I had that one. I remember something was edgy about the booklet because my mom never censored anything, but for some reason she took the booklet out of it. I don't
think
know
that
what
was
it
the one where he had like he did his own watercolor and he did like one of him and he gave himself like boobs.
Yeah, it might
Something
have
like
been it.
Yeah.
And so that was, and I didn't mind that. I thought that was cool because it was like real hard rock, hard edgy rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is when he did the whole like dope show thing and all that, and started doing the whole like, I don't know,
Right.
It was a whole different thing. And after that, it lost me.
Right.
And that's when he became very Marilyn Manson.
Anything for me, anything after Hollywood was just miserable.
So I go C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A nice conservative C.
Well, here, I'll take your All That Remains thing that you got.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
Okay. Because I listen to them a lot. I'll go B tier. So why I think All That Remains, I think when it comes to Fall of Ideals, that was probably the most riffin album out there as far as you talk about metalcore. Like the riffs were outstanding. Big influence on me. And even the CD after that, was it Overcome, I believe? Same thing, really good. Weird production though. The sound quality of the album was way different, but really good. But then towards the end, I think they started to really kind of get a little generic with their stuff.
Okay.
But they did just get Jason Richardson as a guitarist, and they did unleash some new stuff.
Yeah.
Still not the biggest fan necessarily, but they did have.
I just remembered the Gimme Hot Steel.
Yeah.
And 6-string Slaughter.
Those were both off Fall of Ideals.
It's one of the few things I remember about them.
But as far
laughing.
as yeah, but I'd say B tier because I really like the way they they did a lot of good riffing that still I think influenced a lot of bands.
Cool.
Okay, what do you got, John?
Take us home.
What do we got?
B-52s.
Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada. Never listened to him. Never heard him.
Same.
Me neither.
Oh, is this the guy?
No, this isn't the guy, but this is one of the guys. This is the blind one.
Yeah.
Where's the other one at?
One that I put on there. And this is kind of like the generational thing where we're probably older than the people that were, a little bit older who was listening to this. My nephew Quillen actually was a big fan. He's like, "Hey, Uncle John, listen to these guys."
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, "Okay, oh, all right, I like these guys." It was just a whole different kind of, I guess, is emo screamo stuff, but
Yeah,
that was kind of more of my jam aside from like just straight up.
Right.
yeah.
So, I would probably, I guess, rank them probably C though, because they weren't necessarily a fantastic band, but I do still have some stuff that I remember and
What
did
up, dog?
But definitely in the context of this group, guys probably wouldn't like them that much. But I guess you are familiar with them, like you said?
I've heard of them, but I think I've only listened to a song, and I'm like, not for me. So I get what you're saying, like the generational thing, because like I had what I liked, and then it kind of came out like afterwards. It was like a generation of me where I'm like it's cool, but Hey, whoop, dog. All right, bye.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay. So is that our
That's
tier
20.
list?
Hey, I'm gonna empty this out and see what's left in it real quick.
Okay,
just real quick.
For fun.
Yeah.
For fun. There's another All That Remains. There's a Slipknot in there. There's a POD.
Oh!
Wow, POD. Under Oath. I remember those guys. Another Opeth. A Kill Switch.
Wow.
Soilwork. Another Mudvayne. Periphery. Static X. Another Meshuggah. Pantera. Mastodon. Metallica. Behemoth. And another Mastodon.
Okay.
I got an honorable mention for Periphery. I really like Periphery, but it comes right up to the edge for me for like overproduced.
Their production is very
their first
very
album,
slick.
yes, and it's like it's getting to where it's like you're coming out of metal and kind of going into plastic, right? You're just like right at that line. Because at first I was like, I don't know, but like Icarus Lives is just
I think that's
hot.
I think that's kind of their sound though.
Yeah, exactly.
They're smart about it. Like
Because I think,
this is what we're supposed to sound like.
Right, because I think Misha was like an engineer, right, by trade or something like that. So it's like they sound really good, but like their first album, there were some like hard cuts in like the volume, like the ducking was like extreme on some parts where it's like, but it's so polished and so good. But that's what I'll say. So
You said it.
I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say it.
Okay, so here we go. So to recap the tier list, and then we get to choose if we want to, which one you want to switch over to another tier list if you'd like. So we have S tier, we have Static X, Linkin Park, Meshuggah, and Opeth. A tier, we have Pantera, Rammstein, Unprocessed, Avenged Sevenfold, and Mudvayne. B tier, we have In Flames, Lamb of God, White Zombie, Trivium, Polyphia, All That Remains. C tier, we have Mushroomhead, Dark Tranquillity, Slipknot, Behemoth, Marilyn Manson, Devil Wears Prada. And D tier, we had nobody. So, Tony, are there any that you want to move? Or is there one that you'd like to move?
No.
No?
Nah, I don't mind that.
Okay.
Personally, I would do Lamb of God up to S.
Yeah?
Yeah, that is just me though. I'm the biggest fan of Lamb of God.
Okay, that's your free one.
I actually do want to say something. Let's do Lamb of God to D.
So take his down, throw his away.
Okay, so Lamb of God is an S tier now, okay? Let's see. I think I will move Slipknot to A tier just because I think they've impacted metal in a big way. Not that I think they should be in A tier because I don't like all their music, but I think they deserve to be higher than C tier.
Yeah.
No offense to me.
It's okay. It's all right. I get it.
So, John, any of these you want to move on the tier list?
Not necessarily. I think there might be some on there that are like some people's favorites and others people's not favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I don't know.
So are you saying Polyphia needs to go up?
No, it's okay.
That was great.
No, it's okay. No, I'm thinking more like Linkin Park is one of my favorites. Like an old school favorite.
Yeah.
But maybe not necessarily S tier in metal.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, you put him there.
I know. Maybe that was
around.
It's hard. I don't know. It's hard to do something because we each have our own.
No. With that one, like to make it super sad, right? Like one of my best friends died of cancer, right? My age, and Linkin Park, whenever it first came out, he got Hybrid Theory, right? And I was like jealous, man. And I never bought it, right? Because like he always had it, so I'd be over there, I'd be able to listen to it. To this day, like I don't know what did it, but I was like Linkin Park popped into my head, right? So I was like, let's do it. I have Spotify. I'm a real big boy. Let's listen to it. And I had to stop it immediately. I'm like, I can't. Emotionally, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're right. Like it made an impact on like a whole generation of music, right? So even if it isn't the best or even metal or whatever else like that, it's like I had no idea how attached to this album I am. That's crazy, you know. Sorry, to make everybody sad. Sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Okay. So, are you good, or you want to move
I think
something?
I think it's fine.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Polyphia, do I need to move on?
Well, like I said, in the context of our group, then Philippia would probably be like C, because I'm probably the only one that really listens to or likes him.
No.
Where are they at?
I like 'em.
They're a B tier.
You put them at B.
I put him B.
You put them at B, right?
I think so.
And
That's
I'm not going to drop them any because I don't know enough about them to say otherwise. So
The only reason I put him at B is because, I mean, he's right. It's not like metal, and I had a hard time with him at first.
Well-
but like the worst is so good. Like some of their
That's
licks that they
probably my
have.
favorite.
Yeah,
one of theirs.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's too good.
I'll have
It's
to
like a
listen to
throwback.
that.
It's like a throwback to Jimi Hendrix, kind of
Yeah.
like Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dudes. I mean, like both those guys are like the man on guitar, and again, like Clay Gober on bass.
Yeah. Oh, he's a fantastic.
I like.
player.
I think everybody should have that tone, right? As far as bass goes,
Yeah,
like that
it's
should
real
be just the
poppy,
standard.
snappy.
Yep. It's awesome because he does hybrid, right? On bass, he's got a pick,
Yeah.
and he'll use these
You'll
guys
have
to
to
like
check 'em out,
thump
Tony.
and slap and all that other kind of stuff, right?
If you
So
don't
it's
like it,
really
you at least
articulate.
respect it for the the talent.
Yep. And the other Clay, who is the drummer, super good
Clay
too.
Gover and Clay Echelon.
Yep.
Tim
Really good.
Henson and
I just got a whole
Scott LePage.
polyfoam history.
Education.
So he's like, I don't like it.
I don't hate it.
No, I'll have to check it out.
It's not bad.
Okay. Cool. Well, hey, what'd you guys think about doing this? Was that fun?
That's
I love
fun.
it.
Tier list?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was talking to Tony about it. Should we do like a monthly tier list thing?
Mhm.
Because we can do that. Virtually.
Yeah.
Send
Change
invites
up
out.
the genres.
That's what I was saying. Because we can get more specific. We can get like, different genres.
Ooh.
And then if we pick the genres, we can take a month so we can also listen into those.
Yeah.
So if we decide like, say, I think we did the example like Christian metal.
Uh-huh.
Like we can just spend that month listening to it, and then
A
we'll have
deep
our.
dive, explore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We could do that. So you guys good with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Can't wait
Good
till
way
we
to
do rap.
broaden our horizons.
Okay. See you guys. We're gonna do it. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. It was nice to kind of get everybody together and do a fun tier list. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and
Rock on.
nice seeing with
Yeah,
you guys.
so we
So
figured out
should we
more.
mother fist it?
Yeah, let's throw up our mother fist.
Mother fist. There we go.
God.